Good morning to you, Danville and Boyle County. It's time for the Joe Show on 103.9 FM, WHIR Danville. Alrighty, folks, it's Wednesday. It's the third day of June, and today on the Joe Show, we celebrate all kinds of different days. First one we celebrate is Repeat Day. On the Joe Show, Repeat Day. Did you know today is Repeat Day? That's right, Repeat Day is a quirky holiday celebrated every year on June the 3rd, giving you an excuse to do things over and over again. Take this opportunity to repeat things you enjoy, like watching your favorite movie twice, going in for that second piece of cake. It could be as simple as giving your kids 2 hugs before they go to bed instead of just 1. Today is Repeat Day. On the Joe Show, it's also National Egg Day, a terrific source of protein and vitamin D, which makes them one of the healthiest breakfast foods. Did you know that there are more than 100 ways to cook an egg? Some of the most popular ways are scrambled, fried, poached, hard-boiled, sunny side up, and over easy. Today, National Egg Day. It's also Repeat Day. It's also Repeat Day on this Tuesday, the 3rd day of June here on the Joe Show. We start you off this morning, as we always do, playing the national anthem. It's brought to you by Bob Allen Motor Mall and the Hometown Radio Network, and here it is.
The Bob Allen Motor Mall and Hometown Radio Network proudly honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Bob Allen Motor Mall, Hometown Radio Network, teaming up every morning to honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Our phone number to call in is 859-238-9447, 238-WHIR. We'd love to have you right here on the radio, on the Joe Show, getting your birthdays on here on what is going to be one of the thinnest days for birthdays in terms of birthday names that we've ever had. Let's give a birthday shout out to our birthday boys and girls. Happy birthday today to Theodore Kern IV, who's having a birthday today. And that's our birthdays. Happy birthday to Theodore. If you have a birthday on this Tuesday, June the 3rd, get them on here. We need birthdays. Theodore Kern celebrates, and that's it. 859-238-9447, 238-WHIR for your birthdays, folks. Theodore Kern IV, you're having a birthday. Happy birthday to you. It's a Tuesday, the 3rd day of June. That is 060325 on your calendar. And so glad to have you on the show this morning. 859-238-9447 again is the phone number to call in to get your birthdays and your anniversaries, your shout-outs, your way-to-goes. If you just have a question, I can promise you I probably do not have the answer. But that's the number you can call. And glad to have you on the show. Typical Tuesday morning. we have lined up for you. First guest comes on here this morning at 7. Well, I never actually cleared it with Coach Blair to be on at 7:20 this morning. Season's still going on, but they're also out of school. So maybe I'll give Coach Blair a call, see if he picks up, and we'll talk Boyle County baseball with him this morning at 7:20. 7:40 County Agents Corner, brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market. Casey Bird joins the show, and we'll see what's going on in the Garrett County Extension Office on this Tuesday morning. Casey will join us to give us our County Agents Corner. At not at 7:50. At 8:10, we have Colleen, Boyle County Public Library, who joins the show. We'll see what's going on with the library as they begin their summer reading programs this month. And their summer kickoff was last Wednesday. Their programs are now underway. And we'll talk with Colleen about that this morning at 8:10. 8:20, Randyisms, the thoughts of Randy Graham and Randy Graham's thoughts, Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on the Joe Show at this time at 8:20. 8:40, James the Gardener's on here, a little gardening with James action, and we'll see what's going on in the garden with James. 8:50, into the 9 o'clock hour, Dusty will join us for Kentucky Music Preview. Number 1 this week. We'll see what's going on in the world of local music. And at 9:35 this morning, Ann Yeager joins us for Stiff Funeral Home and a talk of a lifetime. That's the rundown of today's show. Tuesdays are typically busy. Wouldn't have it any other way. We love it. And we'd love to have you on here as well. We appreciate you tuned in to the WHIR 859-238-9447. We start you off as we always do, taking a look at early morning sports. Here you go, folks. Good morning to you. Murray State shocks Ole Miss. A record-setting slugger is set to make his major league debut. And a couple of big offensive line announcements in the NFL. Those are the headlines on this Tuesday morning. I'm Joe Mathis, guiding you through these Tuesday morning sports. Starting off in college baseball, where Murray State became the latest number 4 regional seed in the NCAA baseball tournament to join the Super Regionals party on Monday. The Racers, who emerged out of the winner's bracket of the Oxford Regional, fell to number 10 Ole Miss on Sunday night to force the winner-take-all, if necessary, game for a spot in the Super Regionals. But it was Murray State who prevailed Monday, becoming only the 10th 4 seed ever to win a regional. Murray State beat Ole Miss 12-11 in a barn burner yesterday, holding on despite blowing a 12-3 lead in the 7th inning. The Rebels, runners-up at the SEC tournament, scored 8 unanswered runs across the 7th and 8th inning before Murray State threw up a 0 in the top of the 9th to take it all. Murray State joins Evansville, Oral Roberts, South Florida, Davidson, VCU, Charleston, Stony Brook, Fresno State, and Missouri as number 4 seeds to win the regional. Of those teams, 3 made the College World Series: Fresno State, which won the 2008 National Championship, Stony Brook, and Oral Roberts. In Major League Baseball, power-hitting prospect Jack Caglianone is set to make his Major League debut with the Kansas City Royals. He was the number 6 overall pick in the 2024 draft, who starred collegiately at Florida, was officially promoted yesterday after just 79 games in the minors. The left-handed slugger is a natural first baseman, but he's seen time in the minors this season in the outfield, an area where the Royals have been among the least productive in the major leagues. But what makes him impressive is his elite raw power. He posted an impressive 320 389, 593 combined slash line with 15 home runs in 38 games in Class AA and 12 with Class AAA in Omaha. He has tremendous bat speed with elite exit velocity. Caglianone's home runs are often highlight reel variety. In the National Football League, Detroit Lions starting center Frank Ragnow is retiring from the NFL at the age of 29. He acknowledged he grappled with a very trying few months before deciding to retire. He said a toll of injuries and the physical demands of the sport as the main reasons for his decision. The Lions selected Ragnow 20th overall in the first round of the 2018 NFL Draft. He quickly blossomed into a quality starter for the team, making 96 starts over his 7 NFL seasons. And speaking of offensive linemen, Jedrick Wills is one of the top offensive tackles who remains unsigned ahead of this season. It turns out that might be by design. Wills is planning to sit out most or probably all of the 2025 campaign, according to Fox Sports. The reason, Wills dealt with a lingering knee issue that limited him to 5 games in 2024. He noted that while the 26-year-old Wills has been drawing interest from multiple teams, he believes taking time off to get healthy is the best move for the long-term future of his career. Those are the headlines on this Tuesday morning. I'm Joe Mathis for the Hometown Radio Network.
Did you know that WHIR AM 1230 is the talk of the town? We're not spreading gossip. We're just letting you know where the best talk radio is found all day, every day. Mornings begin with Danville's own Joe Mathis and The Joe Show.
Hey, this is Joe Mathis.
Wake up to what you missed. News, weather, sports, and local guests. Followed by Kentucky Sports Radio with Matt Jones.
Welcome, everyone. Kentucky Sports Radio. I'm Matt Jones.
Then, the man who has an opinion about everything, Tomas Mauricio.
I'm Tomas Mauricio. I invite you to tune in.
Starting at noon with Advocates for America. Then at 3, it's the best-known name in news, Sean Hannity.
Join me, Sean Hannity, on WHIR.
Then, Joe Pag starts off weekday evenings at 6 with his take on the day's news, mixed with his fun parody songs about the news.
Hey, it's Joe Pag on WHIR.
Afterwards, at 10, it's the unique world of John B. Wells on WHIR with his Caravan to Midnight show.
This is John B. Wells, WHIR, AM 1230 and FM 103.9.
These guys have a lot to say, and they'll be glad to have you join them every weekday on your home for news, talk, sports. AM 1230, WHIR, the talk of the town.
Get that graduate something special or the Father's Day gift you've been wanting at B&O Jewelers. They've increased their buying power for you. They're loyal customers at the Big Deals online store. You can purchase a $50 gift certificate from B&O Jewelers for just $29, or get this, 4 $50 gift certificates, a $200 value for just $100. That means you only pay half price. Stay in style with a visit to Anderson's Lifestyle Boutique in Danville. Get a $50 gift certificate for only $35. $10 gift certificates to the Bread of Life in Liberty are just $7. Give that Sweet Tooth what it wants at Sweets by Cindy in Junction City. $10 gift certificates are half price, is $5. Applebee's Grill and Bar in Danville, get a $10 gift certificate for just $7.50. $22 Pioneer Playhouse gift certificates are back. You get an entertaining $5 savings at just $17. Come clean with a visit to Thoroughbred Auto Wash in Danville. $20 car washes are just half price at $10. Check out these and many more great savings at our Big Deals online store at hometownlive.net. hometownlive.net.
Serving Boyle County seniors, a gathering place.
Our Meals on Wheels program is designed for seniors 60 and up in Boyle County who struggle with food insecurity. If you think you may be eligible, call us at 859-236-2070, thegatheringplace.org, or follow us on Instagram and Facebook for more info.
Serving Boyle County seniors, a gathering place.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
Thank you there, Rayleigh. It's brought to you by Altogether Recovery Center, Danville's first residential addiction center for men, offering life-saving, compassionate care for drug and alcohol addiction. Altogether Recovery Center is now open right here in Danville. Mostly sunny, a high today of 86, a low tonight of 66, sunshine at 86, the high tomorrow. Chance of rain showers on Thursday. Not good news. 83 is the high, a low of 68. I say not good news because Thursday is the day when Boyle County baseball and softball are supposed to be playing in the state tournament, and hopefully that weather will stay away. On Friday, showers likely, possibly a thunderstorm, and a high of 81. Saturday, same thing, chance of rain showers, high of 78. Right now it's 6:24 in the morning, 54 degrees, Tuesday, the 3rd day of June, and so glad to have you on the show this morning. 859-238-WHIR to call in. 238-9447, celebrity birthdays. Those famous people having famous birthdays on this famous day, starting off on this date 58 years ago, where journalist, author, and TV personality Anderson Cooper was born. He's the anchor of the CNN news show Anderson Cooper 360 and Anderson Cooper Live. Here's a clip of Anderson Cooper talking about today's rich compared to history's rich.
The histories have yet to be written about the mega wealthy people today and what the impact of their fortunes will be on subsequent generations and their families. Will the lessons of these other families be learned?
Yeah, of course, he is the son of Gloria Vanderbilt, 58 years old today for Anderson Cooper. The late game show host and author Chuck Barris would have been 96 years old today. He claimed that while he was creating game shows like the Newlywed Game and the Dating Game and hosting the Gong Show, he was also a contract CIA assassin. He claimed that. Chuck Barris would have been 96 years old today. The late politician Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederate States of America from its beginning in 1861 to its collapse in 1865, his 1881 memoir, The Rise and Fall of the Confederate Government, helped restore his reputation after the war, and he's now an icon and symbol of pride for many in the South. Ironically, he actually argued against secession while he was a senator from Mississippi. Jefferson Davis, on this date, 1808, was born, the president of the Confederate States of America. And the late beatnik poet Allen Ginsberg would have been 98 years old today, the National Book Award recipient, who's best known for Howl, his controversial 1956 poetic work. Celebrity birthdays on this Tuesday, the 3rd day of June. There you go, folks.
Country music.
All right then, folks, it was on this day, country music history, looking back at the year 1927, where Boots Randolph was born. American musician best known for his 1963 saxophone hit, Yakety Sax. It was on this day, country music history, in the year 1996. George Strait released his song, Carried Away, the second single from his album called Blue Clear Sky. And it was on this day, country music history, 1997, Curb Records released the album Everywhere, the 4th album by Tim McGraw. And that's what's gone on this date, June the 3rd, in country music history, folks. Starting off on this date, 1927, where musician Boots Randolph was born. Yeah, Yakety Sax. Randolph was a prolific session musician and a member of the Nashville A-Team, performing on numerous notable recordings by artists including Chet Atkins, Elvis Presley, Roy Orbison, Brenda Lee, and Al Hirt. On June the 3rd, 2007, Randolph died at Skyline Medical Center in Nashville after suffering a brain hemorrhage. The creator of Yakety Sax, Boots Randolph, would have had a birthday today, born on this date, 1927. It was on this day, country music history, in the year 1996, where George Strait released his song, Carried Away.
Don't believe in chasing crazy dreams.
The second single from his album, Blue Clear Sky, which would become the 30th U.S. country chart hit for him. The song was one of 2 George Strait songs to be nominated for Single of the Year in 1997, the other being One Night at a Time.
Carried away by the look, by the light in your eyes. Before I even realize the ride I'm on, baby, I'm long gone. I get carried away, nothing matters but being with you. Like a feather flying high up in the sky on a windy day. I get carried away.
There you go, Carried Away. And it was on this date, 1997, Curb Records released the album Everywhere, the 4th album by Tim McGraw, his first release since his marriage to Faith Hill, that included this song.
Dancing in the dark, middle of the night.
Collabed with Faith Hill on this song called It's Your Love, nominated for Best Country Collaboration and Best Country Song at the 1998 Grammys. On this date, 1997, the world was graced with this album, Everywhere, by Tim McGraw.
You've been doing all over again. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Don't think I can keep it all in.
And that's what's gone on this date, June the 3rd. In country music history, Bottom Hour News is coming your way now.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
It's the Commonwealth's birthday this week. Sunday marked 233 years since Kentucky was admitted as the 15th state to the Union back in 1792. The Bluegrass State is known as both the horse and bourbon capitals of the world. It's the birthplace of President Abe Lincoln, and is even home to Mildred and Patricia Hill. The two were Louisville natives who wrote the Happy Birthday to You song. Kentucky bars no longer allowed to serve THC-infused drinks. This comes after Senate Bill 202 was passed in March and became law this Sunday. While the sales of hemp-derived drinks are no longer permitted in bars, they're still allowed to be sold in liquor stores across the state. A famous haunted Raggedy Ann doll coming to Kentucky. Annabelle, the inspiration for a doll featured in several horror movies in the Conjuring series, will be at Scarefest in Lexington this October. The event will be held at the Central Bank Center October 17th through the 19th. And the city of Louisville responding to the Department of Homeland Security, placing the city on what DHS calls a comprehensive list of sanctuary jurisdictions. John Shannon with the story.
Homeland Security says Louisville is one of over 500 cities that are deliberately obstructing the enforcement of federal immigration laws. Mayor Craig Greenberg said Friday afternoon in a statement that it's, quote, unclear why Louisville was placed on the list, and he's awaiting a formal clarification from the Department of Homeland Security. Greenberg went on to add that, quote, my position on public safety is clear. For anyone who commits a violent crime, regardless of your immigration status, there will be consequences and you will be held accountable. Last week, DHS said they were notifying cities that were in violation of Executive Order 14287, entitled Protecting American Communities from Criminal Aliens. Along with Louisville, Campbell, Franklin, and Scott counties made the non-compliance list in the Commonwealth. I'm John Shannon.
And I'm Lee Mowen.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Hi, this is Don, your small business marketing expert. It's never been more important to keep in touch with current and potential customers. So whether you need to let your current customers know that you're open, get new customers for your business, or just generate more cash flow, radio can help. And radio dominates the car. Over 80% of people in their cars overwhelmingly use radio before going shopping. No other media comes close. Also, if the budget is important, radio has the best ROI of any media. That's right, it beats the internet, TV, billboard, and all other media. Your dollars reach more people and work harder with radio. So call us today and find out how radio can help grow your business.
Hi, I'm Robert Wagner, General Manager at Hometown Radio Network. Promote your business to thousands of potential customers every week. To learn more, go online to advertisecentralkentucky.com. That's advertisecentralkentucky.com.
When it comes to your money, there's a lot to think about. Paying bills, setting a family budget, and retirement. Farmers National Bank cares about your financial well-being and is here to help. Visit the bank's website at fnbky.com to check out their financial wellness section with short videos on budgeting, saving, paying off debt, and more. You can also stop into a branch or call to ask the bank's financial professionals for advice. Farmers National Bank, your lifetime bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Danville Boyle County Parks and Rec will hold a block party this Saturday. It'll happen at Jackson Park in Danville, where there will be free food, bounce houses, and a slip and slide. Again, it's this Saturday from 11 o'clock until 3 at Jackson Park in Danville. The Kentucky Public Service Commission has approved an application that will bring a new natural gas-fueled power plant to Casey County. The Casey County News is reporting that approved application will bring that power plant off of Kentucky 49 in Casey County. The plant will be called the Liberty Station and will be on 100 acres about 4 miles north of the Liberty city limits near a natural gas line and a high-voltage electric transmission line. It's expected to employ 23 people when it's completed. Work on it's expected to begin in the fall of 2026. The Harrisburg City Commission has given a first reading to ordinances that would authorize sewer and water rate increases. The Harrisburg Herald's reporting that the ordinance would raise sewer fees from $17.44 to $17.95 for the minimum charge on 250 cubic feet per month, with a rate for up to 750 cubic feet going from $7.25 to $7.33 per 100 cubic feet. That price is based on a 2.9% increase in the Consumer Price Index by the U.S. Department of Labor Bureau and Labor Statistics. It's also not the only price increase Harrisburg residents will see. It was announced earlier this year that Republic Services would increase their garbage rate from $18.43 to $22.50. A brand new food pantry will open up in Harrodsburg. It's called the Hope for Harrodsburg Food Pantry and will have its grand opening a week from tomorrow. It'll be a shopping-style pantry, faith-based, and it'll be 100% volunteer-run. The grand opening for the Hope for Harrodsburg Food Pantry on South Main Street in Harrodsburg will be Wednesday, June 11th at 12 noon. And you know it's officially summer when Pioneer Playhouse opens up their season. This Friday is the opening night of Pioneer Playhouse's 76th year under the stars. They'll open up with a Sherlock Holmes mystery play called The Game's Afoot. Pioneer Playhouse plays will run Tuesday through Saturdays from June the 6th to August the 9th with a special 3-night music performance August 14th through 16th. I'm Joe Mathis.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. It makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
All right, Jack, brought to you by our friends over at Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance, your local independent insurance agency. Proudly representing the Auto Owners Insurance Company. Ask if auto owners make sense for you by calling Mark or Chris for a free quote. 859-236-6686. That is Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance. You get sunshine, a high today of 86, a low tonight of 66, sunshine tomorrow, and a high tomorrow of 86. Thursday, rain shower chances possible as they are Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Right now it's 6:38 in the morning. It is 54 degrees in Danville. 859-238-WHIR 238-9447. Love to have you right here on the Joe Show. Larry Vaught, what's going on with you this morning? And Vaught's Views. Here you go.
Vaught's Views on University of Kentucky Sports is on the air. Featuring 7-time Kentucky Sports Writer of the Year, Larry Vaught.
If not for Christian Laettner, Sean Woods will be remembered for making one of the biggest shots in Kentucky basketball history. However, because Laettner hit that shot at the buzzer in the 1992 Elite Eight, not enough UK fans remember the terrific runner in the lane Woods hit with 2.1 seconds left to give UK a 103-102 lead before Laettner changed that. Now Woods is coaching La Familia, UK's alumni team playing in the basketball tournament. I love talking to Woods about his role after he was a team assistant coach last year. He saw firsthand that players like Aaron and Andrew Harrison, along with Willie Cauley-Stein and others, got a reminder last summer about how adored they were by Big Blue fans, even though they had been gone from Kentucky for 10 or more years and had seldom been back in Lexington.
Vaught's Views will return in a moment.
The only competition that really matters is you versus you. And with the performance of Veltima fungicide from BASF, you can take your best results even further. Veltima fungicide is on your side to out-yield the competition by an average of 7 bushels per acre, but you've never been average. Beat your own record, get every bushel you deserve, and make this your best season yet with Veltima fungicide from BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
Sean Wood said former UK coach John Calipari did a great job keeping his players away from the masses of UK fans as they concentrated on becoming NBA players. Woods also knew that made them miss out on the full experience of playing for UK and connecting with fans like he did and like current UK coach Mark Pope wants his players to have. Woods wants La Familia to win, but more than anything, Woods just wants players to enjoy another Big Blue Love Fest this summer.
Find more from Larry at yoursportsedge.com.
Larry Von Voss Views Mondays through Fridays right here on The Joe Show at this time at 6:40 in the morning on this Tuesday, the 3rd day of June. And Father's Day is coming up. It is on Sunday, June the 15th, so a week from this Sunday. We're 12 days away from it.
Father's Day is right around the corner, and what better way to show Dad you care than with the gift of gas?
Happy Father's Day, Dad!
Oh, wow, let me guess. A hat that says number 1 Dad?
Nope.
A pen? I don't need another pen.
Just open it.
Fine. What? A gallon of gas? You do love me after all.
Yes, giving the gift of gas is the best way to show Dad you love him.
Open the next present.
A $20 gas card? This will buy me a gallon and a half of gas.
If you're lucky.
So this Father's Day, give Dad the gift of gas. He'll be glad you did.
Let's see what's going on in this morning's World of Good. Are you tired of the gloom and doom that saturates your daily news? Well, of course you are, and I am right there with you. These stories remind us of the silver lining in the cloud over all of our heads. My web's sharing the good news with you, and hopefully you'll go do the same for somebody else. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up on the piano. It's Mr. Floyd Kramer for you. A little good news action on this Tuesday morning, and here we go. Story number 1 coming from Turkey, where during a flight from Turkey to Mexico, 35-year-old Marcela Hernandez Quezada suffered a stroke and was saved thanks to the quick actions by an onboard doctor. The unnamed doctor quickly administered oxygen and pushed for an emergency landing in Houston, where Quezada was treated before being moved to a hospital in Woodlands. She underwent surgery to remove a blood clot and is now expected to make a full recovery. Wow, scary stuff. A 35-year-old nearly died suffering a stroke. Story number 2 coming from California, where a 15-year-old in California had to be rescued after climbing into an onboard mine shaft to save 2 dogs that had fallen into that mine shaft. Responding fire crews performed a technical rope rescue to extract the teenager and both dogs, bringing all 3 safely to the surface without serious injuries. The local fire chief praised the person who called in the incident and the firefighters for their teamwork as well. And story number 3, also from California, where KB Home has unveiled Dixon Trail. It's a wildfire-resistant community in Escondido, California, designed to withstand extreme fire conditions. The 64 $1 million homes feature fire-rated materials, ember-resistant vents, and metal fencing, along with neighborhood-wide strategies like increased spacing and low-fuel landscaping. The development has received a provisional wildfire safety designation, setting a new standard for building in high-risk areas. The good news, a builder creates the first neighborhood with all wildfire-resistant homes. A specialized team rescues a teenager and dogs trapped in an abandoned well. And a doctor on a plane saves the life of a fellow passenger having a stroke mid-flight. That, my friends, is what's going on in this morning's World of Absolute Good, folks. It's 6:44 in the morning. Floyd Kramer, take us home, buddy. It's all yours. Silliness at Sunrise is coming up next.
Lee's Famous Recipe's been serving the best chicken in Danville since 1972. Lee's is proud to serve up money-saving $6 meals that include 2 strips or 2 pieces of dark meat, livers or gizzards, your choice of a side, plus a home-style buttermilk biscuit and drink, all of it just $6. Don't feel like cooking? Feed the family with an 8, 12, 16, or 20-piece meal that comes with large shareable sides and home-style buttermilk biscuits. For your next get-together, call Lee's, the expert caterers, at 859-236-8777. Visit Lee's Famous Recipe, the chicken specialist in Danville and South 4th.
Hi, this is Cheyenne Barsati, Food Service Director for Boyle County Schools. This summer, we will once again be offering free meals to all children aged 18 and under. Meal kits will contain 10 breakfasts and 10 lunches, and each child is eligible for their own kit. These events will be held behind Boyle County Middle School. Children do not need to be present if the bags are being picked up by a parent, guardian, or caregiver. Our first pickup event is on Thursday, June 5th. Follow Boyle County Schools Food Service on Facebook for registration and other details.
From Nashville.
It was nice to finally get in victory lane after a rocky start to the year. We weren't the best, and so we got a good solid finish.
I'm Mark Darrow, and this is PRN's Garage Pass.
At Napa, we've spent the last 100 years building our business into an engine that powers yours. Whether you're big or small, national or local, Napa has the automotive solutions your business needs to stay moving. And it's all driven by a nationwide network of quality parts and exceptional service on one mission: to keep your business moving full speed ahead. That's why we are the pros that know.
Following 5 DNFs, Ryan Blaney described his season as scrappy, but it turned happy when he won the Cracker Barrel 400 at Nashville Superspeedway.
Had a lot of, misfortune and crappy things happening to us, and it's like, man, what do we got to do to just finish these races or close one out? So finally, nothing crazy happened, and we were able to just run our own race and bring the speed and execute and do our job very, very well. It was nice to finally get in victory lane after a rocky start to the year.
It was Blaney's 14th career win and the 150th for Roger Penske, who now has all 3 of his teams qualified for the playoff. The runner-up for the second time this year was Carson Hocevar.
Felt like a very smart Cup driver for almost every lap. Obviously, it was super, super difficult to pass, and I felt like we just executed on all levels to go from 26 to second and make something out of that. Still unfortunate to obviously not win.
After spending some time at the front, Denny Hamlin struggled home third.
Got beat by a better driver, better car. We weren't the best, and so we got a good solid finish, one that we were capable of, probably one spot short. Just never quite got it. They dialed their stuff in as the day went on, and we just didn't get much better.
Whether your engine runs daily or only when you need it, Z-Max Micro Lubricant is the force you need against carbon buildup that can damage your engine. Combustion causes carbon and other harmful deposits to build up in your engine, fuel system, and transmission. And carbon is like sandpaper rubbing against your engine's internal parts. You don't want that. You want Z-Max Micro Lubricant. It soaks into metal and keeps your vehicle running at peak performance. Find out more at zmax.com or visit us on Facebook and Twitter. Protect your engine to the max with Z-Max.
In finishing 5th in Music City,
that was probably about what we had. I was happy with it. This has not been a great place for us, so it was good.
William Byron increased his lead in the regular season standings to 48 points over Kyle Larson. Meanwhile, Chris Buescher jumped above the cut line by 8 with new bubble boy Kyle Busch 2 points ahead of Brian Priest and 4 up on Carson Hocevar. PRN's Garage Pass, not narrow-minded, Garrow-minded.
Hi, I'm Brent Blevins, Public Health Director for your Boyle County Health Department. The health and safety of our residents is of great importance to me. Each year, lives are lost due to lung cancer, many of which are preventable. That is something that I would like to see change. Lung cancer deaths associated with smoking and exposure to radon gas are considered by the Environmental Protection Agency as the foremost contributing factors in causing lung cancer. This is where the Boyle County Health Department can help. We have smoking cessation classes beginning often, and the entire program only lasts 13 weeks. Imagine how much better you can feel in just a few short weeks. Also, our environmental staff has information on radon indoor air mitigation systems that can greatly reduce the risk of radon gas in your home. For more information on either of these programs, contact your Boyle County Health Department at 859-236-2053. Thank you.
The Irvin Real Estate Group has joined forces with WHIR Realtors Ford Brothers and is here to serve you for all your real estate needs with real estate offices now in 6 central and southeastern Kentucky locations. Whether you're looking to sell or buy a home, farm, or commercial property, remember WHIR Realtors Ford Brothers. WHIR Realtors Ford Brothers, give us a call at 859-792-2611. WHIR Realtors Ford Brothers. WHIR works.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
All right, Jack, appreciate that. Really appreciate that, buddy. Brought to you by our friends over at the Little Sign Shop. The new owners and operators. The Little Sign Shop does signs and banners and decals, and they do them fast. They're in Danville, where 2nd and 4th Streets meet. Sunshine, a high of 86. Clear skies this evening, low of 66. Sunshine tomorrow, 86 is your high. Thursday, chance of rain showers and thunderstorms, but also sunshine Thursday, and a high of 66. A high Thursday of 83. Friday, you get a high of 81. I tell you what, when you start getting like the rain showers in the forecast, then I'm looking at the forecast, there's like so many numbers. There's what time it's going to rain. So I see from like 11 until 2. Then it shows you the wind. Then it shows you the possibility of the rain, the percentage chance. So I'm filtering through all these numbers looking for the temperature. Right now, I do know it's 54 degrees in Danville. Here on this Tuesday, 3rd day of June. 100% hilarious. So bad they're good. Warning, these may make you cringe. It's time for everyone's 6th favorite segment on the Joe Show. It is the dad joke of the day, and here we go. I clicked on the wrong thing. That's the good news music. We need the dad joke of the day music. Let's try that again. The dad joke of the day. Here we go.
Dad joke of the day.
All right, dad joke of the day. We bought a new car. So I asked Rebecca, I said, Rebecca, why haven't you driven your car around for the first 3 months? First 90 days? She said it was part of the financial agreement. I said, really? She said, yes. 0% interest for the first 3 months. I am not at all interested in driving this car around. The dad joke of the day, Mondays through Fridays, right here on the Joe Show.
Welcome to the planet of the apps. Oh, this is a great one, Rick Dees. This one's free. It's called Timbre, but it's spelled Timbre. Timbre. Discover your music scene. It's about local music. It's Timbre, a location-based band discovery app that finds local music and shows and sends you there. Makes it easy to access. You know, there's music all around us. Doesn't matter how big the city is. There's music everywhere. Timbre, Timbre. For example, there's a kid band, kids 11 through 13. I'm noticing they call themselves Breaking 27. It shows where they're appearing, all the way up to did you know there's a hot bluegrass band, all the way up to local bands with amazing talent. You'll love it. Timbre, Timbre, right here in the music part of this molten magma we call the planet of the apps.
Yes, sir, Ricky D's, the planet of the apps, Mondays through Fridays here on the Joe Show at this time leads us into this morning's Country Comic Spotlight, where Anthony Griffith is in the spotlight this morning. Anthony Griffith talking about how his family is crazy. He thought it was just everybody else's family, but no, he said every family's got crazy people in it. Anthony Griffith, the Country Comic Spotlight, here he is.
I thought it was just limited to my family, but there's crazy, that's right, but there's crazy people everywhere. In fact, if you can't think of the crazy person in your house, it's probably you. Because I have 3 generations of crazy in my family. To show you how dysfunctional my family is, I was on the comedy contest on television once, and I lost. Thank you. Thank you for your support. And every now and then rerun the episode, and when they do, the family will still watch it, still thinking I have a chance to win. My grandmother would call me. I thought you had him this time, baby. I think you keep losing because you keep telling the same jokes. I love my grandmother. My grandmother is 93. Yep.
Well, there's an ad in the middle of it. Grandma is 93, he said. See if we can get back to the second half. This is the first time in a while that we've been interrupted by a commercial on the video where I'm playing the Country Comic Spotlight. So let's see if we can get back to this here. Well, come on now. All right, here we go. Back to the Country Comic Spotlight.
She always thinks someone's trying to break in the house. Every 5 minutes, I see a shadow. Put the gun down. But I see a shadow, baby. I know you do. You got cataracts. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Cataracts or no cataracts. When cataracts or no cataracts, you still got to protect yourself. Like my late husband always said. Well, whatever it was, he always said it.
Anthony Griffith in the Country Comic Spotlight. Rick Dees in the Planet of the Apps. And the dad joke of the day leads us into the best jokes from last night's late night shows. While you were catching your sleep, here's the jokes that people were throwing out on the late night show, starting off with Jimmy Fallon joking about how Tinder is going to create a height filter on their dating app so you can filter people by their height. Here's Jimmy Fallon joking about that.
Hey, I saw that Tinder is testing out a new height filter so users can set height requirements for their matches. That's great. They fixed the 48th thing wrong with Tinder.
Seth Meyers joking about President Donald Trump issuing pardons.
President Trump last week pardoned reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley, who were in prison for bank fraud and tax evasion. And if Trump is guilty of anything, it's also those two things.
Seth Meyers also joking about President Donald Trump reposting an odd conspiracy theory about former President Joe Biden.
President Trump reposted a conspiracy theory on Truth Social over the weekend that claims that former President Joe Biden was executed in 2020 and replaced with clones and robots. Jesus. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks that's far-fetched. Even if Dems wanted to, have you seen the Hall of Presidents? The technology's not there.
Still in his at Sunrise, Seth Meyers, Jimmy Fallon, Rick Dees in this morning's Planet of the Apps, and Anthony Griffith in the Country Comic Spotlight, and, of course, the dad joke of the day. Mondays through Fridays right here on WHIR, Danville News Talk Sports, and The Joe Show. We've got 90 seconds left in commercials. We're back in a minute and a half and wrapping up and rounding out this 6 o'clock in the morning hour on WHIR.
Gold prices are climbing, and that means now is the perfect time to turn your unwanted gold into cold hard cash. At B&L Jewelers, we're buying gold every day, whether it's broken chains, single earrings, outdated styles, or old class rings. If it's real gold, we want to see it. Our experienced team will evaluate your items right on the spot and make you a no-pressure offer. You might be surprised at how much your forgotten jewelry is worth. Why let it sit in the drawer when you could be putting money back into your pocket? No appointment needed. Trusted by the community for years. Located in the Danville Manor Shopping Center. B&L Jewelers, where honesty, value, and experience shine. Come see what your gold is really worth today.
Love gets better with B&L Jewelers. Give a gift with that personal touch to that person in your life that means so much. It's the perfect way to say, hey baby, I love you, and I need you to love me more. And the perfect diamond to get you to do it's at the B&L Jewelers store. Love gets better with B&L Jewelers. You gotta go with Graceland. Graceland Air.
Graceland Air, a local HVAC company, offers a wide range of services and provides each customer with an effective and long-term solution in both heating and air conditioning repair. They're committed to excellence in every aspect, exceptional quality of service, high standard of integrity. You are the basis of their business, and they service all brands. Go online to graceland-ky.com for more information.
You gotta go with Graceland. Graceland Air.
Talk Kentucky Sports, weekday mornings at 10 with Matt Jones and Kentucky Sports Radio, right here on AM 1230 WHIR.
All All right, 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:10. We see what's breaking and trending. 7:20, we talk with Boyle County baseball coach Adam Blair. Rebels and Boyd County will play Thursday at 1:30 in the afternoon. We'll have that game on Z105, and we'll have Coach Blair on here hopefully at 7:20. 7:40, County Agents Corner, brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market. It's all coming up on the Joe Show here on WHIR Danville. 1 hour in, 3 hours to go.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 7 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Prosecutors are leveling state and federal charges against the suspect in the Colorado fire attack on supporters of Israeli hostages. NBC's Jay Gray in Boulder this morning.
Mohammed Sobri Salman, a 45-year-old Egyptian national who visa expired in 2023, so he was here in the U.S. illegally, though ICE says that that's not someone they would have targeted for deportation. He has been charged with a federal hate crime as well as 16 attempted murder, 8 of those with intent and after deliberation, 8 more with extreme indifference.
Solomon is accused of using a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails in Sunday's attack in Boulder, which injured 12 people. The U.S. economy is now expected to grow more slowly this year. The Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development has cut its growth forecast from 2.2% to 1.6%, citing trade tensions, fewer immigrants, and a shrinking federal workforce. Global growth is also down, but the slowdown is expected to hit North America hardest. China is pushing back on the White House's contention that it broke the Geneva Trade Agreement. More from Mitch McCann.
After President Trump claimed that China had violated its trade truce, only weeks old, Beijing hit back on Monday, saying that if the U.S. continues to damage China's interests, it will take forceful measures to safeguard its legitimate rights.
The Supreme Court is denying challenges to bans on assault-style guns and high-capacity magazines. More from Mark Mayfield.
The High Court turned down 2 cases that challenge a Maryland law banning assault-style weapons and a Rhode Island restriction on magazines. Laws in both states will remain in effect as a result. Other lawsuits over similar bans across the U.S. are ongoing, which means the Supreme Court is likely to see the issue again. 3 conservative justices said they voted to take it up.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Martin, how long you been with Farm Bureau? Man, it was all the way back in the 1900s, 89 maybe.
Whew, 96 for me. How about you, Nick?
2010-ish.
Classic Nick, always late to the party.
Looks like that strike is right on time.
Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment. Connect with your local agent at mykfbagent.com.
I'm Lieutenant Matt Keller. And I am Officer Amber Ross with Louisville Metro Police Department. When working traffic in Jefferson County, responding to crashes involving deaths or injuries is the toughest part of our job. When you drive, there's so much out of your control. But what you do have control over is wearing a seatbelt. Less than 2 seconds. That's all the time it takes to buckle up. Why do we enforce seatbelt laws? It's not about writing tickets. It's about saving lives. Always buckle up.
A message from Team Kentucky.
A cup of coffee in the morning could help women stay healthy as they get older. More from Tammy Trujillo.
Research out of Harvard University followed a group of 50,000 women for 30 years. Drinking coffee every morning was linked to staying mentally sharp and physically strong later in life. Decaf coffee and tea didn't have the same effect.
A toddler is okay after taking a ride on the baggage conveyor belt at Newark Liberty International Airport last week. More from Kristen Marks.
Authorities say the 2-year-old's mom was in the middle of rebooking a flight when the kid made their way behind the JetBlue counter in Terminal A and onto the conveyor belt and then cruised down to the lower level. It took Port Authority cops just minutes to locate the child in the luggage room after they reportedly jumped on the conveyor belt themselves. The toddler was apparently about to go through the X-ray machine. Officials say it's a dangerous environment where bags are shoved by gigantic levers, which could be fatal for a small child.
You're a grand old flag, you're a high
high-flying.
Americans say there are important differences between the Republican and Democratic Party. According to a CNN poll, 81% of respondents say there are important differences between the two parties, while only 18% say the parties are pretty much the same. More Americans had been describing the parties as meaningfully different over the preceding decade, but the trend was not as stark as it was over the last year and a half. The latest results also found the trend exists across Democratic groups, including income, race, and college education level. Philadelphia Eagles star running back Saquon Barkley will grace the cover of Madden NFL 26. More from Matt Mattinson.
Barkley is shown doing one of his famous hurdles over an opponent on the cover of the latest edition of the popular video game series. He won his first Super Bowl with the Eagles and came within 101 yards of breaking Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record. Madden NFL 26 will hit shelves August 14th.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Don't be a dirty driver. You can shine on and drive on with a clean vehicle from the original Thoroughbred Car Wash in Danville on Perryville Road. The original Thoroughbred Car Wash has 6 self-service bays and 8 vacuums and a touchless automatic wash that washes, waxes, and blow dries for the spotless wash that you'll be proud of. Find the original Thoroughbred Car Wash in Danville on Perryville Road, just down from Big Lots. Open 7 days a week for your convenience.
Good morning to you. It's Tuesday. It is the 3rd day of June, and we are so happy to have you on the show. On this Tuesday morning, looking at sunshine, 86 degrees, your high forecast comes your way. News comes up here first, brought to you by Stuart Powell Ford Mazda.
At Stuart Powell Ford Mazda, we are proud to be your hometown dealer for many reasons. Selection, service, convenient location, and our people. Your friends, family, and neighbors. Since 1949 at Stuart Powell, we make it easy. Stuart Powell Ford Mazda. Visit us on the bypass in Danville or online at stuartpowell.com.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update.
Danville Boyle County Parks and Rec will hold a block party this Saturday. It'll happen at Jackson Park in Danville, where there will be free food, bounce houses, and a slip and slide. Again, it's this Saturday from 11 o'clock until 3 at Jackson Park in Danville. The Kentucky Public Service Commission has approved an application that will bring a new natural gas-fueled power plant to Casey County. The Casey County News is reporting that approved application will bring that power plant off of Kentucky 49 in Casey County. The plant will be called the Liberty Station and will be on 100 acres about 4 miles north of the Liberty city limits near a natural gas line and a high-voltage electric transmission line. It's expected to employ 23 people when it's completed. Work on it's expected to begin in the fall of 2026. The Harrisburg City Commission has given a first reading to ordinances that would authorize sewer and water rate increases. The Harrisburg Herald's reporting that the ordinance would raise sewer fees from $17.44 to $17.95 for the minimum charge on 250 cubic feet per month, with the rate for up to 750 cubic feet going from $7.25 to $7.33 per 100 cubic feet. That price is based on a 2.9% increase in the Consumer Price Index by the U.S. Department of Labor Bureau and Labor Statistics. It's also not the only price increase Harrisburg residents will see. It was announced earlier this year that Republic Services would increase their garbage rate from $18.43 to $22.50. A brand new food pantry will open up in Harrodsburg. It's called the Hope for Harrodsburg Food Pantry and will have its grand opening a week from tomorrow. It'll be a shopping-style pantry, faith-based, and it'll be 100% volunteer run. The grand opening for the Hope for Harrodsburg Food Pantry on South Main Street in Harrodsburg will be Wednesday, June 11th at 12 noon. And you know it's officially summer when Pioneer Playhouse opens up their season. This Friday is the opening night of Pioneer Playhouse's 76th year under the stars. They'll open up with a Sherlock Holmes mystery play called The Game's Afoot. Pioneer Playhouse plays will run Tuesday through Saturdays from June the 6th to August the 9th with a special 3-night music performance August 14th through 16th. I'm Joe Mathis.
This morning's local news was a service of Stuart Powell Ford Mazda on the bypass in Danville and online at stuartpowell.com.
Listen to WHIR online at hometownlive.net, powered by Kentucky, YMAX.com.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
Brought to you by Danville Auto Body Shop. Top-of-the-line collision auto body repair. Head to the mechanics at Dabs Danville Auto Body Shop, 315 Dillahay. Get a free estimate, and they work at their insurance company, fixing water leaks, window motor repairs, hail damage, and doing paintless tint repair at Danville Auto Body Shop. Sunshine, high today of 86, low tonight 66. Tomorrow, sunshine, 86 is the high. Rain shower chances on Thursday night, and on Friday at 7:10 in the morning. It's 56 degrees here in Danville, Tuesday, the 3rd day of June. We're so glad to have you right here on The Joe Show as we see what's going on. Breaking and trending news starting off our 7 o'clock in the morning hour, and we'll get to that here in just a second. But first things first, an escaped zebra was making news in Tennessee. It somehow escaped wherever it was and was found on a Tennessee highway, an escaped zebra. And a film crew from Africa already has a documentary on this Africa zebra that escaped in Tennessee.
Welcome to Mutual of Africa's Zebra Hunter. We have come to Tennessee, America, to hunt for the escaped zebra. My team are ready to find this elusive creature before it is too late. In America, the zebra is rare and found only in the zoo. But this one has escaped and is loose in the Tennessee. He has been seen running on the highway, in and out of the traffic. And the best way to catch a zebra in the Tennessee, America, is to obviously play some country music. This will make them think there is a zebra honky-tonk. Uh-oh, we have sighted the zebra, headed for the Tennessee jungle. Cue the music. Their hunt is on. Join us next time on Mutual of Africa's Zebra Hunter.
There you go. Let's see what's breaking and trending here this morning on The Joe Show. Protesters in Massachusetts are speaking out after an 18-year-old was detained by ICE agents while on his way to volleyball practice. The agents were actually seeking the father of Marcelo Gomes de Silva. There have been protests at Milford Town Hall calling for his release, and yesterday students at the high school staged a walkout. ICE officials say he's still detained because he was a collateral arrest. Gomes de Silva's lawyer says the teen's student visa has expired, but he's in the process of seeking asylum. Meanwhile, a judge has now put a 72-hour stay on the child's deportation and receive a fair review of the case. Western style is now trendy, and Stanley is joining the fun. As if you don't have enough tumblers already, the irresistible Mesa Rose Collection drops today. It includes polished metallic rose gold, conch floral, and deep blue corn paisley. The conch and blue corn tumblers also have a bandana design. They range in price from $18 to $45 that are available on Stanley's website. Rite Aid continues to shutter more than 300 of its stores. This comes after the drugstore chain filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy last month. The newly planned closures are in addition to the more than 100 Rite Aid locations announced last month it would close. Rite Aid currently has around 1,200 stores in operation. That's down about half the number it had 2 years ago. All right, ladies, listen up. A cup of coffee could really help you. Researchers at Harvard University followed a group of 50,000 women for 30 years. They drank coffee 2.5 cups a day, and that was linked to staying mentally sharp and physically strong later in life. Decaf coffee and tea did not have the same effect. Other drinks with moderate levels of caffeine helped, but coffee was more effective. A huge cloud of dust from Africa's Sahara Desert covered the Caribbean yesterday, marking the biggest dust event this year, stretching 2,000 miles from Jamaica to Barbados and 750 miles from Turks and Caicos to Trinidad and Tobago. It caused hazy skies, sneezing, coughing, and watery eyes. Forecasters warn people with allergies or asthma to stay indoors and wear masks. The dust was part of the Saharan air layer, is expected to reach Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi by the weekend, but it will be less dense than it was. This dust can block some sunlight and stop tropical storms from forming during hurricane season, which runs through November the 30th. David Richardson, the new head of FEMA, may have been joking, but he still shocked staff during a daily briefing yesterday by saying he didn't know the U.S. had a hurricane season, which, again, runs from June 1st to November 30th. The sources say the comment confused and upset employees, especially since Richardson has no disaster response experience. It's unclear if he was joking, but a Department of Homeland Security spokesperson claimed it was a joke, insisting FEMA is ready for hurricanes. Staff worry about the agency's preparedness after recent staff cuts, leadership changes, and reduced hurricane training. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration predicts up to 10 hurricanes this season. And New York Lieutenant Governor Antonio Delgado announced yesterday he will challenge Governor Kathy Hochul in the 2026 Democratic primary for governor. Delgado, who Hochul picked as her running mate in 2022 after her first lieutenant governor was arrested, said in a video that New York needs bold, decisive, transformational leadership.
You know, when I was growing up in Schenectady, I started off watching my parents cutting coupons, putting clothes on layaway. Education was everything.
He didn't name Hochul, but told the New York Times that people are hurting and deserve better leadership. The two have clashed publicly, including when Delgado called for President Biden to end his 2024 campaign and for New York City Mayor Eric Adams to resign. So, a little feistiness in that New York governor's race between Antonio Delgado, the lieutenant governor, and the current governor, Kathy Hochul. And that, my friends, is what's breaking and trending this morning here on The Joe Show on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. We'll step aside, come back. I did not get a response from Boyle baseball coach Adam Blair. Again, that's my fault. I should have texted him earlier. We'll keep on rocking and rolling here on The Joe Show on this Tuesday, the 3rd day of June.
This Steve Bertram Sports Report is a service of Stuart Powell Ford Mazda on the Danville Bypass and online at stuartpowell.com.
Hi, this is Fred Sizemore with Stuart Powell Ford Mazda here on the Bypass in Danville, where we make buying a vehicle easy. No fast talk, no high-pressure sales, no gimmicks or silly commercials. Just honest deals and a team that takes pride in doing business the right way. For over 75 years, we've built trust by treating our customers like family, offering fair prices and making sure you drive away with confidence. Stop by today and see just how easy it is to do business with us.
Come to Stuart Powell, we can do business.
Stop in at 225 South Danville Bypass.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. The NCAA college baseball playoffs are headed to the Super Regionals this weekend, and Murray State will be there. The Racers were the 4 seed in the Oxford region and beat host Ole Miss 12-11 last night to advance to their first ever trip to the Super Regionals. They'll visit Duke this weekend for the best 2 out of 3. Other scores yesterday: Tennessee 11, Wake Forest 5, LSU 10, Arkansas Little Rock 6, Miami of Florida 5, Southern Mississippi 4, Oregon State 9, Southern Cal nothing, and North Carolina 14, Oklahoma 4. Louisville will be hosting Miami this weekend. The Women's College World Series is set in Oklahoma City as Texas takes on Texas Tech in a best 2 out of 3 beginning tomorrow. Yesterday, Tech edged defending champion Oklahoma 3-2, while the Longhorns blanked Tennessee 2-0. Boyle County will represent the 12th region in the state high school baseball and fast-pitch softball tournaments this week in Lexington on the University of Kentucky campus, and both teams play Thursday afternoon. In baseball, Boyle meets Boyd County at 1:30, while in fast-pitch softball, Boyle plays Rowan County at 5:30, both games on Z105. In Major League Baseball Monday, Milwaukee won its 8th straight game, 3-2 over the Reds. Baseball's best team this year, the Detroit Tigers, are the first to win 40 games after flogging the White Sox 13-1. The Rockies finally won their 10th game of the year, 6-4 over the Marlins, while the Angels, Mets, Padres, and Twins all won. The final leg of the Triple Crown in horse racing is the Belmont Stakes this Saturday in New York. The morning line favorite is Journalism, who won the Preakness and was runner-up in the Kentucky Derby. Derby winner Sovereignty is the second choice at 2-1. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
So you want to be a recycling hero in Danville with curbside pickup or impress the fine folks at Boyle County Recycling Center? Pay attention, because it's a little more than just breathing air and tossing your stuff in the bin. Only plastics marked with numbers 1 and 2 make the cut. Got it? Great. And don't just toss in goo-covered spaghetti jars or soda cans. Rinse those bad boys. Gotta be squeaky clean, shiny happy, bone dry. Bonus tip, this also applies to your metal cans, whether they're steel, tin, or aluminum. Seriously, don't mix in that oil-stained tin foil hat. Got a hoarding problem with cardboard, catalogs, and magazines that rival a library? Set them free to reincarnate. Cereal boxes, office paper, they're all up for this new spiritual paper journey. And listen up, confetti enthusiasts, bag that shredded paper. Sorry, folks. Glass is not welcome to the recyclables party, but hey, give yourself a high five for recycling right.
Boyle County's our home, so let's keep it clean.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
All right, Rainey, brought to you by the Big Deals online store, HometownLive.net. Shop and save on gift certificates to local businesses at big-time discounts. Up to 50% every single day. The Big Deals online store is at HometownLive.net. All right, you get sunshine. High today, 86. A low tonight of 66. Sunshine and 86 tomorrow, Thursday. Rain showers are likely in a high Thursday of 83. You get about a tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain possible by the time it gets through here on Thursday. Right now, 7:21 in the morning. It is 56 degrees here in Danville. So glad to have you on the show. 859-238-WHIR. Phone number to call in this morning, 238-9447. On this June the 3rd, it is National Egg Day today, which is a folksy, honorary, quote-unquote holiday. But now that eggs have become one of our most precious, valuable commodities, maybe it should be a federal holiday where we all get the day off. National Egg Day today on this June the 3rd. A couple of polls asked people about their egg-eating habits. A poll asked, when you buy eggs, do you generally buy white or brown eggs? 67% of people said white, 20% said brown. What about how you like your eggs cooked? Scrambled, still the way to go. 46% of people said scrambled eggs. 25% said fried. 7% said hard-boiled. 6% said poached. 4% said soft-boiled. Jack has been, I guess Rayleigh has as well, but specifically Jack has been getting into them runny. I don't know how you would consider that runny. Just runny eggs. He likes the yolk a little bit runny. A poll asked, how do you usually crack an egg? 57% of people said they crack eggs on the edge of a bowl or a pan. 23% said flatten the countertop. 10% said some other way, like I guess on their kids' foreheads or something like that. A poll asked, which came first, the chicken or the egg? 44% of people said chicken. 32% said egg. 24% said not sure. By the way, the correct answer is apparently the egg came first, which beat chickens by a couple 100 million years, unless you're talking specifically about a chicken egg, and then it gets a little murkier. Science say chickens evolved from a subspecies of red jungle fowl many thousands of years ago. And at some point around their domestication, the last ancestor of modern chickens would have laid an egg containing an embryo with enough genetic differences to be distinct. Personally, I like the Beastie Boys explanation. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? I egged the chicken, then I ate his leg. What about a good egg substitute in baking? Do you have one? This is kind of dark, but apparently people say blood. Eggs and blood have similar protein compositions, particularly with the albumin that gives both the coagulant properties to both the egg and blood. So, yeah, if egg prices start, spiking again, you can hit up a reputable butcher. The conversion would be 1 egg equals 65 grams of, animal blood. 1 egg equals 65 grams of animal blood, or roughly 4 tablespoons, or maybe you could just, go with applesauce or something like that. 859-238-WHIR to call in this morning, 238-9447. That's not the song I want. This is the song I want. A little Star Wars for you this morning. Mark Hamill is making an announcement. Of course, Mark Hamill played Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, and he's announcing that no, he is not returning to the Star Wars future projects, not even as a Star Wars Force ghost. Quote, I had my time, I'm appreciative of that time, but I really think that they should focus on the future and all the new characters, Hamill told comicbook.com. His comments came at a specific time because Lucasfilm is apparently working on a film centered around Daisy Ridley, who plays Rey, after the Rise of Skywalker movie. This film will apparently follow Rey's efforts to rebuild the Jedi Order based on Luke's teachings. So some fans had assumed Luke could pop up in some form in the movie, whether that be as a Force ghost or a flashback or something. But Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy has previously described the galaxy in this next movie as a post-war, post-First Order galaxy with the Jedi in, quote, disarray, and Luke will not be involved in that. Mark Hamill says, thanks, but no thanks. I am done doing Star Wars, is what Mark Hamill said. It's 7:26 in the morning. We're back in 60 seconds right here on The Joe Show on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports.
Sutton Pharmacy, friendly service from people you know. Generations of serving our community, immunizations, prescriptions, and so much more. Helpful people, free local delivery, mobile app refills right to your door. Visit SuttonRx.com. Sutton Pharmacy, friendly service from people you know.
In Lancaster on Maple Avenue.
Hey, it's me again. That's right, I'm Jerry Farmer, and I'm still cutting up. Still Cutting Up is a place to go when you need a fresh cut or a mini afro. Perms, colors, nails too, braids, highlights, and even updo. I know you done heard of us, so get with it. I know you need your hair did. Here's our digit, 238-7899. Bob your head while I rhyme. 24/7, we won't be beat. 365 on South 4th Street. See ya.
Catch the best of Sean Hannity, Saturday mornings, 10 to 1 on WHIR.
Father's Day wish from Tom Cruise.
Hi, it's me, Tom Cruise. And there's only one thing I want for Father's Day this year, and that's literally anything. You hear me, Siri? A necktie, a card, even a phone call. Help me help you get to know me. I mean, at this point, I'd settle for a note taped to a rock that you throw through my window. Any contact would be great. I'm so sad. Woo! I can see how it would be confusing that I'm laughing even though I'm sad. But it's all I know. It's all I know!
This has been a Father's Day wish from Tom Cruise.
All right, hey, next time you go into Walmart, I've never noticed this or walked into any store, and maybe this change has not hit us here in central Kentucky yet, but maybe it has. Again, I haven't noticed this. And so I'm asking you, have you noticed this change when you walk into a store? Do employees still say welcome when you walk in, or do they add a second word? The Wall Street Journal just did an weirdly in-depth article on how the phrase welcome in has become the new go-to greeting at stores. No one's sure exactly how or why welcome in has become popular, but it's a lot more common than it was 5 or 10 years ago. Some people think it's fine and maybe more inviting than a one-word welcome. but others think it sounds dumb, like the person's trying too hard. The Wall Street Journal writer, by the way, thought maybe a big corporation put it in their training manual and it kind of spread from there, but they couldn't find any evidence that's what caused it. Another guess was maybe it came from the German word for welcome called willkommen. But that seems far-fetched as well. The last theory is that it gained steam when the world opened back up after COVID, like, welcome in, I can't believe that you're actually here in person type thing. Welcome in has apparently become the new go-to greeting at stores, and people are apparently confirming they hear people at stores saying welcome in now instead of just welcome or hello or whatever maybe. It's welcome in. Speaking of getting up, going to work, going to the job, going to the grocery store, it doesn't get much more dystopian than this. A Chinese newspaper called Beijing Youth Daily recently did a story on how young people in China are paying $5 to pretend they have a job. You go to a shared office, but you don't do any actual work. It's all a ruse, so you don't have to tell your friends and family you're unemployed. The jobless rate in China is only 5%, but youth unemployment is more like 17%. Not everyone's pretending. A lot of customers are just people who freelance and need a co-working space, but for the ones who don't, you're paying for a desk, Wi-Fi, coffee, and theatrics. $5 to pretend you have a job in China.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
New details released following a shooting leaving 3 people dead in Henderson. The incident happened last Thursday when 77-year-old Patrick Waite allegedly called 911 to report he had shot 4 people inside a home on Scottsdale Drive. Officers arrived on the scene to find Waite's wife, 61-year-old Alma Waite, her son, 39-year-old Fernando Ramirez Sr., and her mother, 81-year-old Gloria Tapia, all dead from gunshot wounds. A 4th victim is expected to survive. Waite faces numerous charges, which include murder, attempted murder, and battery. London Mayor Randall Wendell is providing an update on damages caused by last month's strong storms and tornadoes. The storms ripped through Laurel and Pulaski counties on May 16th, which killed 19 people and injured many others. Mayor Wendell says the storms caused damage to or destroyed 817 homes in Laurel County alone. That comes as Governor Andy Beshear says a special legislative session will most likely happen, as he believes the state will exceed their $100 million cap on emergency disaster spending set last year. Morganfield officials want to remove PFAs from the water. They're long-lasting chemicals that can be found nationwide in fish, soil, air, and water. The long-lasting chemicals break down slowly over time, but can cause serious health issues. Morganfield leaders announced an $8 million project to add a granular activated carbon filter plant to the city. Officials say the PFAS levels are still considered safe, but the filters will help remove the chemicals from surrounding waterways. The project is expected to finish by July 2027. And a possible murder-suicide investigated in Russell County. Authorities with a call Saturday night after a neighbor found Thomas and Dorothy Sawyer inside their home with apparent gunshot wounds. Preliminary findings show the couple likely died in a murder-suicide. I'm Lee Mowen.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Hey, it's me again, your radio. Have you noticed about any form of entertainment these days digs a big hole in the family budget? I mean, whether you catch a ball game, hit a movie, or even that cable TV, whoa, you are going to pay up. Now, may I direct your attention to the 800-pound gorilla in the room that doesn't cost you an arm and a leg? Me, your radio. Ever wonder who pays for all this? Announcers, people behind the scenes, and don't even get me started on music royalties, so you get your favorite songs for free. These unsung heroes are our advertisers. They make it possible for you to get this cool radio stuff for free. So why not thank them? That's right, support our advertisers. They've got great deals, important services, and more. It's almost like we went to the dictionary and looked up win-win. Let's review. Support our advertisers and keep radio free. Trust me, nobody wants a coin-operated radio.
Promote your business to thousands of potential customers every week. To learn more, go online to advertisecentralkentucky.com. That's advertisecentralkentucky.com.
Get off on the right foot at Danville Bike and Footwear, where you'll find walking, running, and trail shoes from Brooks, Saucony, and Asics, along with a wide selection of insoles for maximum comfort. Danville Bike and Footwear features Garmin watches with advanced wellness features that track all the ways you move from running, cycling, swimming, to Pilates, high-intensity workouts, and more. Make your way into Danville Bike and Footwear, 417 West Main Street in beautiful downtown Danville, a place where adventure and comfort ride together.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Danville Boyle County Parks and Rec will hold a block party this Saturday. It'll happen at Jackson Park in Danville, where there will be free food, bounce houses, and a slip and slide. Again, it's this Saturday from 11 o'clock until 3 at Jackson Park in Danville. The Kentucky Public Service Commission has approved an application that will bring a new natural gas-fueled power plant to Casey County. The Casey County News is reporting that approved application will bring that power plant off of Kentucky 49 in Casey County. The plant will be called the Liberty Station and will be on 100 acres about 4 miles north of the Liberty city limits near a natural gas line and a high-voltage electric transmission line. It's expected to employ 23 people when it's completed. Work on it's expected to begin in the fall of 2026. The Harrisburg City Commission has given a first reading to ordinances that would authorize sewer and water rate increases. The Harrisburg Herald's reporting that the ordinance would raise sewer fees from $17.44 to $17.95 for the minimum charge on 250 cubic feet per month, with the rate for up to 750 cubic feet going from $7.25 to $7.33 per 100 cubic feet. That price is based on a 2.9% increase in the Consumer Price Index by the U.S. Department of Labor Bureau and Labor Statistics. It's also not the only price increase Harrisburg residents will see. It was announced earlier this year that Republic Services would increase their garbage rate from $18.43 to $22.50. A brand new food pantry will open up in Harrodsburg. It's called the Hope for Harrodsburg Food Pantry and will have its grand opening a week from tomorrow. It'll be a shopping-style pantry, faith-based, and it'll be 100% volunteer-run. The grand opening for the Hope for Harrodsburg Food Pantry on South Main Street in Harrodsburg will be Wednesday, June 11th at 12 noon. And you know it's officially summer when Pioneer Playhouse opens up their season. This Friday is the opening night of Pioneer Playhouse's 76th year under the stars. They'll open up with a Sherlock Holmes mystery play called The Game's Afoot. Pioneer Playhouse plays will run Tuesday through Saturdays from June the 6th through August the 9th with a special 3-night music performance August 14th through 16th. I'm Joe Mathis.
Danville's deal maker, Bob Allen.
At Bob Allen GMC, we are professional grade. Lease a new 25 GMC Sierra 1500 elevation package for only $299 per month for 24 months. $5,700 plus first payment, taxes, and fees due at signing. 10,000 lease miles per year. VIN $318,849. Must have lease loyalty. Bob Allen GMC, located on Maple Avenue in Danville, or shop online anytime at BobAllenMotorMall.com.
The Bread of Life Cafe in Casey County, Highway 127, proudly serves several all-you-can-eat buffets. Start out with the lunch buffet, $13.99. Thursday, after 4, seniors 55 and older can experience the buffet for $9.99. Friday after 4, swimming for the seafood buffet, $19.99. Saturday morning breakfast buffet, 7 till 10:30, $10.99. And Saturday after 4, make your way to the evening buffet for $14.99. Feed your tummy and your soul with a visit to the Bread of Life Cafe, 5 miles south of Liberty on Highway 127. Open till 8, Monday through Thursday night, Friday and Saturday till 9.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
Look at there, Ready Joe, brought to you by the Big Deals online store. They're at hometownlive.net. Shop and save on gift certificates to local businesses at big-time discounts. Up to 50% every day. The Big Deals online store is at hometownlive.net. Mostly sunny, a high today 86, and a low tonight of 66. Tomorrow, sunshine and 86 is the high. Chance of rain showers on Thursday, and high Thursday of 83. Right now it's 7:37 in the morning. It is 54 degrees. Tuesday, the 3rd day of June, and Casey Bird joins the show from the Garrett County Extension Office. Good morning, Casey. How are you?
Good morning. Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, Casey. Appreciate you being on here this morning, giving us the County Agent's Corner. It's brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market.
Get the top price for your livestock. Take them to the Bluegrass South Livestock Market, where they have drop-off hours to fit the busy farmer's need. Selling your livestock a profitable and a pleasant experience. Save the hassle of a long haul. Sell your livestock at the Bluegrass South Livestock Market, 277 Courtier Road in Stanford. Call Bluegrass South Livestock Market at 606-365-0665. Bluegrass South Livestock Market in Stanford.
And here's Casey Bird.
Hey, y'all. Casey here. I'm the ag agent over in Garrett County. So for today, we're going to talk about cicadas. I'm sure many of you have heard them screaming in the trees, or maybe even had them hit your cars or even fly on your head when you're walking outside. But there's two types of cicadas that commonly exist in the eastern United States. we have annual cicadas that emerge every year. And what we're seeing right now is a brood of periodical cicadas. And these emerge every 13 or 17 years. Right now we're seeing the 17-year brood. And young trees actually may need protection from cicadas. So if you've got some juvenile trees, it's a good idea to cover them in mesh netting with 1/4 inch or smaller openings. And this will protect against any damage that could occur when cicadas deposit their eggs into these tree branches. However, cicadas cannot harm larger, more established trees, so no need to worry about your more mature trees. So that's today's Tree Tuesday update. Join us each weekday at this time for the County Agent's Corner, a service of Boyle, Garrett, Lincoln, and Mercer County UK Extension offices.
There you go, Casey Bird for the County Agent's Corner. I feel like, Casey, the cicadas are getting more and more active because it's getting warmer, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were acting drunk the other day at the radio station. They were all over the place. I mean, they were flying in our door. Like, we opened the door to walk outside. They're flying in the station. I had one that was on my shoulder when I walked in. I didn't see it till I saw it in the mirror when I walked in the bathroom. Then I flicked it off. Then it started going crazy in the bathroom, making its noise. Now they're outside my house. They are all over the place.
It's like something out of a horror film or
yes,
something.
so it is. Yeah, like I'm driving on 2168 here in town, and I'm just like hit like 3 in a row, smashed under my windshield. I mean, they are all over the place. So, yeah, it's definitely a cicada summer here. All right, some random facts for you, Casey. Here we go. Fact number 1. The Secret Service was originally created in 1865 to deal with rampant counterfeiting, to help stabilize America's financial system. By the end of the Civil War, nearly 1/3 of all the currency in circulation was counterfeit. Ooh. Yeah, so that's where the Secret Service got its start, trying to stop counterfeit cash in circulation.
Got to protect the money.
Yeah. Number 2, if you're over the age of 50 and listening to us this morning, the world population has doubled in your lifetime. Wow. If you are over the age of 50. Number 3, there is only one player in NFL history that has scored a touchdown against all 32 teams. That player is Terrell Owens, the wide receiver known as T.O. In fact, he scored at least 2 touchdowns against all of the NFL teams during his career as a wide receiver, playing for 5 different teams. The only player to score, only player to score 1, but he's done it actually twice. At least 2 touchdowns against every team.
Wow.
And number 4, we were talking about money earlier. With inflation, the value of a dollar is less than half of what it was in 1996. In other words, it takes $211 today to buy what it cost $100 to buy 30 years ago. Now, that sounds bad, but across history, it's actually an improvement. Average annual inflation over the past 30 years is roughly 2.5%. It was 5.4% over the previous 30 years from 1965 to 1995. So doing the math, it would take you $480 in 1995 to buy what it would have cost $100 to buy in 1965. So the inflation now is actually way down from what it was.
Doesn't feel like it, but that's
not.
Interesting.
Yes, there you go. Some random facts for you. Casey Bird giving us an update from the County Agent's Corner. Casey, appreciate you being on. We'll talk to you again tomorrow morning, okay?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye. Casey Bird with the Garrett County Extension Office and this morning's County Agent's Corner. It's 7:43 in the morning. It's Tuesday, the 3rd day of June. Here on the Joe Show, it's 54 degrees and clear skies in Danville.
Pioneer Playhouse is celebrating 76 years in the Bluegrass. We are Kentucky's oldest outdoor theater, and we're right here in Danville. Don't miss our 76th anniversary season under the stars. Our 76th season in the Bluegrass kicks off with The Game's Afoot, a Sherlock Holmes mystery, June 6th through June 28th. Sherlock Holmes meets Clue in his funny, fast-paced murder mystery comedy set in a spooky mansion with a suspiciously sublime lineup of suspects. A whodunit that will keep you guessing and giggling until the very end. Rated PG. In case of light rain, shows will continue outdoors. Rain checks will be given if show is canceled due to severe weather. Pioneer Playhouse is located at 840 Stanford Road in Danville. Dinner and show only $40. $22 for just the show. Kids rates and group discounts available. Reservations must be made online or by calling the box office. 859-236-2747 or go to pioneerplayhouse.com for tickets. When the sun goes down, the stars come out at Pioneer Playhouse.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. The NCAA college baseball playoffs are headed to the Super Regionals this weekend, and Murray State will be there. The Racers were the 4 seed in the Oxford region and beat host Ole Miss 12-11 last night to advance to their first ever trip to the Super Regionals. They'll visit Duke this weekend for the best 2 out of 3. Other scores yesterday: Tennessee 11, Wake Forest 5, LSU 10, Arkansas Little Rock 6, Miami of Florida 5, Southern Mississippi 4, Oregon State 9, Southern Cal nothing, and North Carolina 14, Oklahoma 4. Louisville will be hosting Miami this weekend. The Women's College World Series is set in Oklahoma City as Texas takes on Texas Tech in a best 2 out of 3 beginning tomorrow. Yesterday, Tech edged defending champion Oklahoma 3-2, while the Longhorns blanked Tennessee 2-0. Boyle County will represent the 12th region in the state high school baseball and fast-pitch softball tournaments this week in Lexington on the University of Kentucky campus, and both teams play Thursday afternoon. In baseball, Boyle meets Boyd County at 1:30, while in fast-pitch softball, Boyle plays Rowan County at 5:30, both games on Z105. In Major League Baseball Monday, Milwaukee won its 8th straight game, 3-2 over the Reds. Baseball's best team this year, the Detroit Tigers, are the first to win 40 games after flogging the White Sox 13-1. The Rockies finally won their 10th game of the year, 6-4 over the Marlins, while the Angels, Mets, Padres, and Twins all won. The final leg of the Triple Crown in horse racing is the Belmont Stakes this Saturday in New York. The morning line favorite is Journalism, who won the Preakness and was runner-up in the Kentucky Derby. Derby winner Sovereignty is the second choice at 2-1. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
Get that graduate something special or the Father's Day gift you've been wanting at B&L Jewelers. They've increased their buying power for you. They're loyal customers at the Big Deals online store. You can purchase a $50 gift certificate from B&L Jewelers for just $29, or get this, 4 $50 gift certificates, a $200 value for just $100. That means you only pay half price. Stay in style with a visit to Anderson's Lifestyle Boutique in Danville. Get a $50 gift certificate for only $35. $10 gift certificates to the Bread of Life in Liberty are just $7. Give that Sweet Tooth what it wants at Sweets by Cindy in Junction City. $10 gift certificates are half price, is $5. Applebee's Grill and Bar in Danville, get a $10 gift certificate for just $7.50. $22 Pioneer Playhouse gift certificates are back. You get an entertaining $5 savings at just $17. Come clean with a visit to Thoroughbred Auto Wash in Danville. $20 car washes are just half price at $10. Check out these and many more great savings at our Big Deals online store at hometownlive.net. hometownlive.net.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you
by Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance, your local independent insurance agency. Proudly representing the Auto Owners Insurance Company. Call Mark or Chris. They'd love to give you a free quote. 859-236-6686. You get sunshine. A high today of 86 today. A low tonight of 66. Sunshine tomorrow. That's kind of funny. 6686 is the Dexter Reitmeyer Insurance. The last 4 numbers, and today's low and high is 6686. It's meant to be. Tomorrow, 86 and 67. On Thursday, rain shower chances. New rain could be up to 1/10 of an inch in the afternoon, 1/10 of an inch in the evening. We certainly hope not. Not that we are like trying to cancel the rain, but not on Thursday. We got Boyle County baseball and softball to be excited about on Thursday. We don't need rain messing that up. Friday, chance of rain showers, partly sunny, a high of 81. Saturday, you get rain shower chances as well. Right now, it's 7:48 in the morning. It is 54 degrees right here on Tuesday, the third day of June. 859-238-9447, 238-WHIR. Let's see what's going on out west where the celebrities live. The Showbiz segment. We also call it the World of Weird. All right, actor Jonathan Joss died Sunday night after being shot by his neighbor outside the remains of a San Antonio home. He was 59 years old. Joss was the voice of John Redcorn on King of the Hill and also played Chief Ken Hotate on Parks and Recreation. Joss's husband, Tristan, yes, he was gay, gave his side of what happened, and it's somewhat complicated, so here's kind of a short version of it. This past January, Jonathan's childhood home burned down, and one of the dogs died in the fire. For years before that, Jonathan and Tristan had apparently dealt with homophobic neighbors who had threatened to burn their house down. On Sunday, Jonathan and Tristan went to the site to check their mail and found, quote, the skull of one of our dogs and its harness placed in clear view. They were obviously distraught and started yelling and crying. That's when a man approached them and started yelling gay slurs at them. Then he raised a gun, pointed it at them, and opened fire. Tristan says Jonathan pushed him out of the way and saved his life, but Jonathan was struck several times and died at the scene. Tristan said, quote, I was with him when he passed. I told him how much he was loved. The suspect is 56-year-old Sigfredo Alvarez Ceja, was booked on a murder charge. By the way, Joss had already done some recording for the upcoming King of the Hill reboot. There's no word if or how his voice will be used. In a recent interview with the New York Times, Miley Cyrus revealed that she regrets about 80% of the tattoos that she got. She added, quote, I don't regret them enough to laser them, but some of them, I love my cat, but, I didn't need that. I love my dog, but, I don't know, just having a pit bull in every picture for the rest of my life is kind of intense. There's just a few I could do without. And yet Miley just got a new tattoo. It's the word Muse below her right shoulder, and it's pretty small. Her tattoo artist posted some pictures of that yesterday. And Meghan Markle is trying to build her lifestyle brand, but not everyone is on board. Word has it that Meghan asked Dolly Parton to appear in her Netflix show with Love Meghan, and apparently Dolly denied her. A celebrity commentator on a recent podcast said Dolly's team was livid because they thought Meghan just wanted to use Dolly to boost her cred. They also didn't want to, quote, risk Dolly's reputation and her popularity by associating herself with Meghan. Did Dolly Parton snub Meghan Markle? Maybe so. Miley Cyrus may hate most of her tattoos, but she just got a new one. And King of the Hill actor Jonathan Joss was shot and killed by his neighbor. That's what's going on out west in Hollywood. The Showbiz segment, Celebrity News. This is an interesting study that just came out. New study found that it may be possible to transmit depression and anxiety through kissing. Researchers followed 268 newlywed couples with one partner struggling with anxiety, depression, and sleep problems, and one who didn't. But after 6 months, the healthy partner started having symptoms of their partner's conditions. It seems that high levels of stress, the stress hormone cortisol, in the saliva of those with depression are to blame and can easily be passed on in close contact, especially through kissing. Yes, a new study found that followed 268 newlywed couples that kissing may be able to spread anxiety and depression to partners through saliva transmission. Interesting. 7:52 in the morning. We're back right after this on The Joe Show on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports on a beautiful Tuesday morning. So glad to have you on the show.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
All aboard the Dollywood Express. We're on our way to celebrate 40 years of unforgettable memories. Just ahead, 500,000 blooms, flower sculptures, fresh flavors, live music, and world-class rides. Next stop is Dollywood's Flower and Food Festival, April 18th through June 8th. Enjoy free parking, discounts on dining, shopping, and more with a Gold Season Pass. Here we go.
Listen to us on your smart speaker. Just ask to play our call letters. WHIR.
All right, President Donald Trump has shared a recent, very bizarre conspiracy theory that Joe Biden was actually killed 5 years ago and was replaced by clones. President Trump has shared this on, I don't know, like a social media page or talked about it or what, but he has apparently says that that's what happened. Joe Biden replaced by clones. Here's another chance for the president to cash in. Check this out.
There's Trump coin, the Trump Bible, and now Trump clones.
Not me, America. Joe Biden clones. I told you Joe Biden was probably replaced by soulless, mindless clones. And now I got the proof. I got them. And they're for sale to whoever could afford them, people.
Yes, Trump's Joe Biden clones look and move just like the real Joe Biden, and even perform lifelike everyday tasks, like bike riding.
I got this Biden clone here to get me McDonald's, whatever I want. And this Biden clone over here to get me a Diet Coke. After they get me my Big Mac and Diet Coke, I make them arm wrestle.
Hurry, there are a limited number of Joe Biden clones available, and Donald Trump could change his mind as he so often does. So act today. DM whitehouse.gov and ask for a demonstration. Donald Trump's Joe Biden clones. Get one today.
Hey, remember this number. The next time your dog poops on the floor, it's going to sting even more. A new study found that owning a pet costs way more than most people think, and the price tag keeps on going up for pet ownership. People were asked how much they think it costs to care for a cat or for a dog for 15 years. For cats, the average answer was $5,735. That's for 15 years, not per year, for 15 years. And for dogs, $8,158. But the real numbers are like 3 times that amount and maybe even more. It depends, of course, on the type of food you buy, whether you get lucky with vet bills, and how much you spoil them. But caring for a cat now costs anywhere from $20,000 to $47,000 over the course of their life. And for dogs, it's $22,000 to just under $61,000. That is an average annual of at least $1,300 a year for cats and about $1,500 a year for dogs. They say even something like a rabbit can easily cost over $1,000 annually. The cost for dogs has gone up about 12% in the past 3 years, and it's actually gone up even more for cats, about 19% to take care of a cat over the last 3 years. It's gone up. Having multiple pets does save a little on a per-pet basis, but not a lot. So does this mean that we're poised to start living pet-free? Absolutely not. Don't count on that. More than 75% of pet owners said they think of their dog or cat as a family member, as a best friend, or even as a child. 24% of dog owners said child, compared to 21% of cat owners. However, it is going to cost you a large chunk of change to have a pet. New stats show that owning and caring for a cat can now cost you up to $20,000 I guess from $20,000 up to $47,000 in the course of the cat's life. And for dogs, $22,000 to just under $61,000 over the course of their lifetime. It's 7:58 in the morning. The NBC Tech Report is coming your way right now.
The latest data breach may be one of the biggest ever in the U.S. Matt Mattinson reports.
A security researcher uncovered a massive breach that compromised more than 184 million passwords for platforms such as Google, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, and Snapchat. The researcher says the file containing all that sensitive information was itself not password protected. Users are advised to change their passwords.
Google is releasing an app that enables users to run available AI models on their phones. Google AI Edge Gallery is only available for now on Android devices, but will soon be available on iOS devices. TechCrunch reports the app will allow users to find, download, and run compatible AI models that generate images, answer questions, and more. The models run offline without needing an internet connection, supporting into supported phones' processors. And an iPad Instagram app is going to be coming out sometime this year. Bloomberg reports the development of the app is well underway at Meta, the company which owns the social media platform. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
I had no idea there was not already an Instagram app for the iPad. Does that not seem weird? Why would you... First of all, I didn't realize there was any significant difference besides that the iPad is not a phone from the iPhone to the iPad. I just figured every app available on the App Store, the Apple App Store for an iPhone, is also available for an iPad, vice versa, but apparently I'm wrong. All right, 8 o'clock in the morning, top hour news is coming your way. Colleen from the library at 8:10 calls in. 8:20, we got Randyisms. 8:40, James the gardener is on here. We're halfway home. It's 8 o'clock.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 8 o'clock. NBC News Radio. I'm Michael Kastner. The investigation continues today after an attack in Boulder, Colorado that injured a dozen people demonstrating in support of Israeli hostages being held by Hamas in Gaza. 45-year-old Mohammed Solomon is facing multiple state and federal charges after allegedly using a homemade flamethrower to go after the group on Sunday. NBC's Morgan Chesky in Boulder.
Witnesses say he was heard yelling "Free Palestine" as he carried out the violent act. The 12 victims ranging in age from 52 to 88. Now recovering from burn injuries, some of them serious. One of the victims, a Holocaust survivor, now out of a hospital.
Authorities say he'd been planning the ambush for around a year. Closing arguments are expected to begin today in Harvey Weinstein's sex crimes retrial in Lower Manhattan. More from Scott Pringle.
The former star movie producer is not expected to testify, which means closing arguments are expected to start Tuesday. And that means the jury could get the case on Tuesday or Wednesday. 3 women accusing Harvey Weinstein of rape and sex assault gave emotional testimony at this retrial about their encounters with Weinstein. He denies any non-consensual sex. He was found guilty in 2020, but a judge tossed the verdict because of the way the witness process was handled.
Karen Reed's lawyers are trying to prove she's the victim of a police cover-up involving the death of her Boston cop boyfriend, John O'Keefe. On Monday, a forensic pathologist testified about marks found on O'Keefe's arms during his autopsy.
Those wounds were inflicted as a result of a dog attack.
Reed is accused of hitting O'Keefe with her SUV and leaving him to die in a snowstorm in 2022. Reed's team says O'Keefe was at a house party with several other officers and was attacked by the homeowner's dog at one point. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to handle the busy holiday season, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818.
800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
The first black mayor of Tulsa, Oklahoma, is proposing a multi-million-dollar reparations plan for descendants of the 1921 Tulsa race massacre. Tammy Trujillo with details.
Mayor Monroe Nichols is looking to establish a private trust that would be used to provide scholarships and housing to the descendants of those impacted by the bloodshed.
My office has been working alongside our legal department on the establishment of the Greenwood Trust, a private charitable trust that will raise and facilitate the investment of $105 million in private funds along our road to repair, restoration, and righteousness.
Nichols says the trust will not involve direct cash payments, and the city council would have to approve the transfer of any city assets to it. The push comes just weeks after Democratic Congresswoman Summer Lee of Pennsylvania announced plans to introduce the Reparations Now resolution, which calls for the U.S. to spend trillions of dollars in reparations for Black Americans.
A man staying at a luxury lodge in rural Namibia is dead, killed by a lion when he stepped outside his tent to use the bathroom. The victim was reportedly a well-known local businessman who was camping with his wife and friends. There are estimated to be less than 60 of the lions in the region. John Fogerty has a new album on the way. More from Mark Mayfield.
Legacy, the Creedence Clearwater Revival years, will feature the recently released, newly recorded versions of Fortunate Son, Up Around the Bend, Have You Ever Seen the Rain, and Porterville. The new recordings are labeled John's Version. The 20-track Legacy, the Creedence Clearwater Revival Years album, will be out on August 22nd.
Actor Jonathan Joss is dead. According to the San Antonio Police Department, Joss was killed on Sunday after reportedly getting into a heated argument with a neighbor. Joss was known for playing the role of John Redcom on the animated series King of the Hill. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. It makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Bright Leaf Golf Resort invites local golfers to come out and enjoy golf. Monday through Thursday, play with cart for just $45. Friday through Sunday is $50. Try our par 3 at night for only $15. Cool off with a daily pool pass for just $12. Or get a season pool membership for $295. For more on pool memberships, visit Bright Leaf. And when you're hungry, swing by the 19th Hole Restaurant. Bright Leaf Golf Resort in Harrodsburg. Great golf, great fun, right here at home on Highway 127.
Good morning to you. It's Tuesday. It's the third day of June, and we're looking at sunshine on this Tuesday. Great day. 86 is the high, and the cicadas will be cicada-ing today. Forecast is coming your way. News comes up here now.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update.
Danville Boyle County Parks and Rec will hold a block party this Saturday. It'll happen at Jackson Park in Danville, where there will be free food, bounce houses, and a slip and slide. Again, it's this Saturday from 11 o'clock until 3 at Jackson Park in Danville. The Kentucky Public Service Commission has approved an application that will bring a new natural gas-fueled power plant to Casey County. The Casey County News is reporting that approved application will bring that power plant off of Kentucky 49 in Casey County. The plant will be called the Liberty Station and will be on 100 acres about 4 miles north of the Liberty city limits near a natural gas line and a high-voltage electric transmission line. It's expected to employ 23 people when it's completed. Work on it's expected to begin in the fall of 2026. The Harrisburg City Commission has given a first reading to ordinances that would authorize sewer and water rate increases. The Harrisburg Herald's reporting that the ordinance would raise sewer fees from $17.44 to $17.95 for the minimum charge on 250 cubic feet per month, with the rate for up to 750 cubic feet going from $7.25 to $7.33 per 100 cubic feet. That price is based on a 2.9% increase in the Consumer Price Index by the U.S. Department of Labor Bureau and Labor Statistics. It's also not the only price increase Harrisburg residents will see. It was announced earlier this year that Republic Services would increase their garbage rate from $18.43 to $22.50. A brand new food pantry will open up in Harrodsburg. It's called the Hope for Harrodsburg Food Pantry and will have its grand opening a week from tomorrow. It'll be a shopping-style pantry, faith-based, and it'll be 100% volunteer-run. The grand opening for the Hope for Harrodsburg Food Pantry on South Main Street in Harrodsburg will be Wednesday, June 11th at 12 noon. And you know it's officially summer when Pioneer Playhouse opens up their season. This Friday is the opening night of Pioneer Playhouse's 76th year under the stars. They'll open up with a Sherlock Holmes mystery play called The Game's Afoot. Pioneer Playhouse plays will run Tuesday through Saturdays from June the 6th through August the 9th with a special 3-night music performance August 14th through 16th. I'm Joe Mathis.
We love NASCAR. Catch the races here on WHIR AM 1230.
Curamed is a top-selling curcumin product in America for good reason. Curamed from Terry Naturally provides remarkable health benefits. Make sure you insist on a bestseller. Insist on Curamed. We're so confident Curamed will offer the results you deserve, we guarantee it, or your money back.
Curamed is on sale now, only at the Danville Nutrition Center. Save 25% off on both Curamed and Curamin for pain. Danville Nutrition Center is located at 802 South 4th Street in Danville.
Hey, it's Joe Pags. Make plans to join us for the show. We're bringing the top news stories that are affecting you, the top stories from social media, pop culture stories, could be in sports. Maybe we'll sing a song or two or three or make fun of somebody that you want us to make fun of. That plus, of course, a big part of the program is you calling in. Look, we can agree, we can debate, we can yell at each other, we can sing a song together. We do it all right here on the Joe Pags Show, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 on WHIR AM 1230 and online at hometownlive.net.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
Thank you there, Rayleigh. Brought to you by Altogether Recovery Center, Danville's first residential addiction center for men, offering life-saving, compassionate care for drug and alcohol addiction. Altogether Recovery Center is now open right here in Danville. Sunshine, a high today of 86, a low tonight 66. Sunshine and 86, the high tomorrow as well. The rain showers move in here Thursday and Friday. It's 8:10 in the morning, 58 degrees in Danville. Tuesday, the 3rd day of June. And we are talking with the Boyle County Public Library this morning. And I believe it's Mike that's on the phone. Is it Mike this morning?
It is, Joe.
Hey, what's going on? Mike, how's everything there at the library going?
Everything's quiet right now, but we're gearing up for another big day and a big week.
Yes, sir. What do we got going on this week at the Boyle County Public Library?
Well, let's take it off the top this morning. We've got the first of our summer story times for toddlers and preschoolers, and for that age range, story time is held outdoors, and it's going to be a beautiful morning for that.
Yeah.
And this morning we also have some folks from the local Humane Society coming with some of their animals. They'll be here for a couple of our story times this summer, including this one, and so we encourage everyone to come outside and bring the little ones for story time. It'll be fun out there in the library park. Bring a bottle of water with you and have a good time.
Good stuff.
Coming up this afternoon and tomorrow, we're playing Clue.
Ooh.
We're playing a live-action version of the board game Clue in our reading room, the original 1937 part of the building, and it's open to teens and tweens and adults. We've got one session open this afternoon from 3 to 5. We've got 2 sessions open tomorrow. One goes from 10 to 12. One goes from 12:30 to 2:30. And in conjunction with that and with the opening of the Sherlock Holmes mystery at Pioneer Playhouse, they're giving away 2 tickets to that show for one lucky player here. So we appreciate their partnership. Coming up on Thursday, we've got our first Thursday fun day of the season. The Cincinnati Circus bringing a one-woman aerial show to Gravely Hall at Danville High School.
Ooh.
So she'll be flying through the air and acrobatics and high energy and stunts and I don't know what all, but a lot of things that people like you and me can't do. That'll be at Gravely Hall at Danville High School at 10:30. And then she'll also be performing a program. We'll have an outreach program at Perryville Elementary School that afternoon at 2 o'clock, and the bookmobile will be there with that. So if you can't make the 10:30 show, come on out to Perryville in the afternoon. And on Thursday night, we've got our summer hobby hunt, which is basically you shopping for a hobby. You can come out and see people with their hobbies on display. They'll show you what they do or what they collect or what they make and how they do it. They'll be glad to talk to you about it. There'll be tables all over the library where you can browse around if you're looking for something new to do to maybe fill a little time this summer. You can find a new hobby at our hobby hunt on Thursday evening, 6 to 7:30. Let's see. Friday we have our local artist spotlight series begins at Grayson's Tavern. We'll have tin punching with Mimi Becker this week. She'll be demonstrating that at 1 o'clock at the Story Center. And, of course, Friday night, you know what's going on then, don't you?
Yeah, Friday night, Starlight Movie Nights start up.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The first of our 8 movie nights coming up Friday night right about dusk. And I know the weather forecast is not particularly promising. We hope that's also not correct. But if it is, we'll have the movie indoors.
Okay.
And either way, rain or shine, there'll be free popcorn. And we'll be showing a movie this Friday and every Friday except July 4th all the way through the 1st of August. And one more good program to mention, on Saturday morning, we have Art in Nature at the Central Kentucky Wildlife Refuge. David Farmer, a local artist, will be out there showing his artwork based on scenes that he has seen at the Wildlife Refuge there, and then he'll guide folks to help create their own work from the beauty out there at the Wildlife Reserve. And advanced registration's required for that, but that's from 10 to 1 a.m. 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday at the Central Kentucky Wildlife Refuge.
There you go. So if you're listening to Mike talking about all these events and saying, wow, there seems like there's a lot going on, it's because there is a lot going on, and this is the first week of the summer programs that the Boyle County Public Library offers. So it's basically something every single day, essentially. If you go to the Boyle County Public Library Facebook page, I'm looking at the post right now. They've basically got it, lined up. Kids and families, young adults, everyone, Story Center, outreach, everything that's going on each day of the week this week. And so mark that down in your calendar, whatever activities and events that you want to go to. And it's going to be something basically every day, sometimes every weekday, sometimes even in the weekends throughout the summer months with the Boyle County Public Library.
Sure is. I did the math, and throughout the summer reading program, which runs through August 1st, every day that we're open, so we're not open on Sundays and a couple of holidays there, but every day that we're open, we're averaging 2.5 programs per day for those days that we're open. And, of course, there's also the Reading Challenge, which is ongoing. We encourage you to sign up for the Reading Challenge. You'll find the link to Beanstack on our website.
Yep.
You can win the prize books. You can win up to 4 of them this summer and earn the raffle tickets for the big grand prize drawings, which are on display in our lobby.
Yep. My mom called me yesterday. She said, Joe, do you remember what the password is to Beanstack? Because she watches the kids during the summer months, right? They're out of school. I'm like, I have no idea. She's like, I'm looking for the password to Beanstack so we can start reading with the kids. And I was like, I don't know, Mom. She's like, okay, I'll figure it out. And that was the end of the conversation. She called me, Mike, for the Beanstack password, and I didn't have the answer for it. So,
my wife is all in on it, too. She's logged every day so far.
There you go. So we're gearing up for that at the Mathis household. And again, BoylePubLib.org. Stay in touch with the library on Facebook as well. And mark down, again, activities every day, essentially, but certainly on Thursday, you want to go Thursday for the fun days at Gravely Hall, the one-woman aerial show Thursday at 10:30 in the morning there at Gravely Hall. And then Friday night, the Starlight Movie Night are some of the highlights of this week's activities. Mike, we appreciate you being on.
And I want to say, too, look for a lot of our pictures and videos from a lot of the events that we're having this summer on our Instagram page as well. We're starting to populate that with a lot of photos.
There you go. We love it. Mike, appreciate it. We'll talk to you later, okay?
Yes, sir. Bye-bye, Joe.
Bye. That's Mike Marcy with the Boyle County Public Library giving us an update on this week's activities and events there at the library. Let's see what's going on in this morning's sort of sports report. Those headlines that you may not hear or get or see in your everyday sports that you get via radio or TV. Here we go. After the insane number he put up last season with the Philadelphia Eagles, it wasn't all a shock to see Saquon Barkley gracing the cover of Madden 26. The cover specifically pays tribute to the amazing reverse hurdle jump Barkley performed over the head of a Jacksonville Jaguars defender in Week 9. In the EA Sports hype video, Barkley says it all goes back to being a kid playing video games and asking, why can't I do this in real life?
This last season has been everything. Having the year that we were able to have as a team, win the Super Bowl, create iconic moments. It starts from imagination, being a kid, having those moments, playing video games, and saying, why can't I do it in real life?
There you go. In the National Hockey League, tomorrow night is Game 1 of the NHL Finals between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. That means there's still time to lay out a wager or two if you've got a hunch in the series. The Oilers are the favorites at minus 120 to win the series, while the Panthers are going off at plus 100. The shots on goal favorites, Connor McDavid at plus 225. Sam Bennett at plus 350, and Leon Draisaitl at plus 380. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. The length of series, market favors 6 or 7 games, both going off at plus 200. A 5-game series is plus 270. A sweep is plus 600. And gamblers have the series ended in favor of the Panthers in 6 games, or the Oilers in 7 games. Both bets going off at plus 450. While appearing on the Mind the Game podcast, LeBron James dished out his opinion on what he sees as the biggest problem in youth sports today. James says too many are focusing on just one sport all year round. They get burned out on that as a result. When he was in school, James says he and his friends did track and field in addition to basketball, which he thinks kept him interested in staying active throughout the year rather than just having it be about basketball all the time. That's what's going on in this morning's Sort of Sports Report. We have more sports coming your way next with the Big Daddy, Steve Bertram, and then Randyisms joins the show. Randy Graham, the thoughts of Randy Graham and Randy Graham's thoughts coming up next on WHIR Danville.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. The NCAA college baseball playoffs are headed to the Super Regionals this weekend, and Murray State will be there. The Racers were the 4 seed in the Oxford region and beat host Ole Miss 12-11 last night to advance to their first ever trip to the Super Regionals. They'll visit Duke this weekend for the best 2 out of 3. Other scores yesterday: Tennessee 11, Wake Forest 5, LSU 10, Arkansas Little Rock 6, Miami of Florida 5, Southern Mississippi 4, Oregon State 9, Southern Cal nothing, and North Carolina 14, Oklahoma 4. Louisville will be hosting Miami this weekend. The Women's College World Series is set in Oklahoma City as Texas takes on Texas Tech in a best 2 out of 3 beginning tomorrow. Yesterday, Tech edged defending champion Oklahoma 3-2, while the Longhorns blanked Tennessee 2-0. Boyle County will represent the 12th region in the state high school baseball and fast-pitch softball tournaments this week in Lexington on the University of Kentucky campus, and both teams play Thursday afternoon. In baseball, Boyle meets Boyd County at 1:30, while in fast-pitch softball, Boyle plays Rowan County at 5:30, both games on Z105. In Major League Baseball Monday, Milwaukee won its 8th straight game, 3-2 over the Reds. Baseball's best team this year, the Detroit Tigers, are the first to win 40 games after flogging the White Sox 13-1. The Rockies finally won their 10th game of the year, 6-4 over the Marlins, while the Angels, Mets, Padres, and Twins all won. The final leg of the Triple Crown in horse racing is the Belmont Stakes this Saturday in New York. The morning line favorite is Journalism, who won the Preakness and was runner-up in the Kentucky Derby. Derby winner Sovereignty is the second choice at 2-1. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
Hi, it's Daryl, the cigar sommelier and owner of Smokin' Bourbon. I know you guys have been waiting, but the wait is over. We are now open for business. So come on down to Smokin' Bourbon, where you can smoke, sip, and chill.
Central Kentucky's newest cigar bar in Danville by the bowling alley in the Greenleaf Shopping Center. This big boss atmosphere is veteran-owned with connoisseur quality cigars and bourbon, creating a social destination. For more information, go to smoke-in-bourbon.com.
Now open. Measles cases are on the rise, but there's good news. The MMR vaccine is the safest way to protect yourself and your community from measles, mumps, and rubella. Measles isn't just a rash. It can lead to serious health issues like pneumonia and brain swelling, even in healthy kids. That's why doctors recommend 2 MMR doses for lifelong protection. And cost shouldn't be a barrier. Many vaccines are free, even without insurance. Call 855-598-2246 to find a provider near you. This message is paid for by Kentucky Voices for Health, the Kentucky Broadcasters Association, and this station.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
All right, Rayleigh Joe, brought to you by our friends over at Altogether Recovery Center, Danville's first residential addiction center for men, offering life-saving, compassionate care for drug and alcohol addiction. Altogether Recovery Center is now open, and they're right here in Danville. Mostly sunny, a high today 86, low tonight of 66, sunshine in 86 and 67 tomorrow. And then the rain moves in. Thursday, give you a chance of rain and thunderstorms, a high of 83. We certainly hope not, because as the Big Daddy just said in sports, Boyle baseball and softball playing on Thursday. Friday, we hope the rain stays away as well for the Starlight movie night there at the Boyle County Public Library and the opening night of Pioneer Playhouse, where you get Friday's high of 81, and Saturday, mostly cloudy, 78. It's 8:24 in the morning, and Randyisms joins the show this morning. The thoughts of Randy Graham. These are Randy Graham's thoughts.
Good morning, Sir Joe in the Know, and what another great day it is to get up and get at 'em. Well, Joe, you know, the interesting thing about common sense is that in many cases it's rather uncommon in today's world. I mean, for example, the murderers among us and all around us. In 1967, the late great Simon Wiesenthal, founder of the Wiesenthal Center that went after former Nazis with great success, even bringing to justice the man responsible for the arrest of Anne Frank, author of The Diary of a Young Girl, who happened to be a policeman in Austria at the time. I mean, an interesting book, highlighting his life as a Jew who had survived the Holocaust and concentration camps, and leading to his crusade and accomplishments of bringing some to justice, but titled his book, Murderers Among Us. And the front of the book had a blood-stained Nazi flag. And I never will forget the time in reading it, being in the latter 1980s, being in a hotel elevator, holding that book. And at the last moment, hearing a man and woman speaking in German getting on the elevator. And upon seeing the title and front cover, them coming to silence, and a look of fear coming over the older gentleman, who looked at the time to have been the appropriate age to have served in the German armed forces during World War II. And always, Joe, just wondered. But of course, Wiesenthal was referencing people who were hiding among the masses, keeping a lower profile. In many cases, they're past a secret, wanting to live a peaceful remainder of their lives after committing their atrocities during the Second World War against the Jewish population. But thanks to Biden's open borders, we now have actual murders among us who are active and engaged, as witnessed in Boulder, Colorado, when an illegal alien from Egypt who had come on a tourist visa during the Biden administration and then being allowed on a work visa, which expired in March, making him classified as an illegal alien, but who set peaceful Jewish marchers on fire while yelling "Free Palestine." The same words yelled during a terrorist attack just weeks earlier on 2 young Jewish diplomats in Washington, D.C., were gunned down by another illegal alien who had come over during the Biden administration, having blood on one's hands. And after the police chief of Boulder stated it could not be yet classified as a terrorist attack, the FBI's Denver office quickly and rightfully classified it as a terrorist attack and would be charged as a hate crime. You see, that's what happens when the FBI is under the proper leadership, like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. They become redefined from the federal bullies of intimidation under the Biden administration to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, using common sense as their guide. Of course, then, in typical CNN fashion, Here comes the former and fired deputy director of the FBI, yes, little Andy McCabe, who served under JC, and I don't mean Jesus Christ, but James Comey, who thinks he's Jesus Christ, who had turned the FBI, yes, from the Federal Bureau of Investigation into the federal bullies of intimidation, focusing their attention on we the people instead of the terrorists. But little candy Andy McCabe called it irresponsible to call it an act of terrorism. Yeah, like it was too early. No, it was not irresponsible. It was irresponsible having someone like him as deputy director of the FBI who didn't have the gonads or common sense to call it for what it is. When the facts show that the act was perpetrated against a Jewish group by a man with a foreign accent from Egypt, yelling Free Palestine, whose first name is Muhammad, seems becoming more a term than a name of death in the same way the name of Jesus represents life. I mean, in such cases, it's a sure sign it's an act of terror. And it doesn't take any more studying of the issue. It just takes common sense. By the way, you do know what James Comey's claim to fame is that rocketed him to the leadership of the FBI, don't you? Framing Martha Stewart for insider trading and sending her to prison. In the same way he framed Michael Flynn for lying to the FBI in the phony Russian collusion case. I mean, tough guy, this federal bully of intimidation. I tell you, talking a couple of wimps, no wonder they were focused on peaceful population of the citizens of the United States instead of America's real enemies. But these are examples of the clowns we had in charge of the FBI, talking pussycats. And no offense to the cats. No wonder they're afraid to offend people who hate us and the murderers among us. Yeah, every city and state has become a border state. And while we got to start asking our elected officials their positions on such issues and not allow them to wiggle out of an answer by stating it's irrelevant where we live because it's very relevant. I mean, we even had a student and faculty of our community Sacred Cow, yes, Bessie College, also known as Center, come to our city commission meeting draped in Palestinian flags, asking the city to condemn Israel for genocide less than 2 months after the massacre, butchering, and rape of Israeli citizens. And 2 of them were foreigners, and one a faculty member who helped lead the delegation. So the hate against Israel has come to our own backyard. And obviously, in my opinion, which happens to be the right opinion, Joe, it's at least being taught in one class at our community's Sacred Cow. Besides, the answer that our elected officials will give will help tell you whether they fall on the side of the James Comeys or Candy Andys of the world, or the Cash Patels and the Dan Bonginos, who are real men who have the gonads and common sense to call it out and get things done. In talking athletic balls or games, did you see where the California dude who pretends to be a dudette won some of the state titles in track and field events? Now imagine your daughter or granddaughter works her junior high and high school years to become a state champion. However, in her final year, a chick with a dude who pretends to be a dudette because he can't cut the mustard with his own kind, he then pretends to be a girl and defeats your daughter or granddaughter. And there are so-called adults that approve of such a measure. That's not caring. That's crazy. That's not having common sense. That's being a kook or a liberal Looney Tune. Besides, it's also violating the civil rights of the other girls and breaking the law of Title IX, which happens to be the law that came into existence in 1972 as an equal opportunity for women in sports. And Joe, I remember that time because I was a freshman in high school, where my dad was my high school basketball coach at my alma mater at good old Boyle County High School. Rebels, Rebels, Rebels. And although it ended up hurting some of the men's sports at the time, it was something that was needed, and it moved women's sports forward. But this attitude moves it backwards. And then again, a CNN commentator sends out the message, asks the question, well, don't we need more studies in the area of whether transgender is a man or a woman? No. We just need common sense. I mean, if you want to know whether you're a man or a woman, simply look down your pants. I mean, it's really that simple. It saves money on studies. Just like deciding whether it's an act of terror. If it's perpetrated by a person with an accent who tries to set another race of people on fire while yelling Free Palestine and whose first name happens to be Muhammad, rest assured it is a terrorist attack. And you don't need to have any more studies or look down their pants to see if they're a man or a woman. You just need common sense. And the balls, whether it be basketballs, footballs, or baseballs, to say it.
Randy Graham, the thoughts of Randy Graham. Those are Randy Graham's thoughts, Tuesdays and Thursdays, right here on WHIR Danville. We're stepping aside. We're coming back. Bottom hour news is coming your way with our local news break, and then James the Gardener joins us as well next.
Spring's finally here, and that means spring cleaning. While you're cleaning, the folks at your local electric cooperative encourage you to check for electrical safety hazards. Start in the bathroom and kitchen. Do the outlets in those rooms have ground fault circuit interrupters? Then move on to the rest of the house, paying special attention to extension cords. Check all your cords to make sure they're not worn, cracked, or frayed. We're Kentucky's electric cooperatives, and our power is our people.
Intercounty Energy, a Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Kentucky has one of the most expansive state park systems in the nation. For decades, the parks have been bringing people together for family reunions, fishing, hiking, and a wealth of other activities. What's your favorite memory of a Kentucky state park? Unfortunately, it takes more than governmental support to keep the parks vibrant. The Kentucky State Parks Foundation raises money to create educational programs for elementary school kids to connect them with nature, handicapable hiking trails, and the preservation of historical artifacts. Make a tax-deductible donation online at KentuckyStateParksFoundation.org.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update.
Danville Boyle County Parks and Rec will hold a block party this Saturday. It'll happen at Jackson Park in Danville, where there will be free food, bounce houses, and a slip and slide. Again, it's this Saturday from 11 o'clock until 3 at Jackson Park in Danville. The Kentucky Public Service Commission has approved an application that will bring a new natural gas-fueled power plant to Casey County. The Casey County News is reporting that approved application will bring that power plant off of Kentucky 49 in Casey County. The plant will be called the Liberty Station and will be on 100 acres about 4 miles north of the Liberty city limits near a natural gas line and a high-voltage electric transmission line. It's expected to employ 23 people when it's completed. Work on it's expected to begin in the fall of 2026. The Harrisburg City Commission has given a first reading to ordinances that would authorize sewer and water rate increases. The Harrisburg Herald's reporting that the ordinance would raise sewer fees from $17.44 to $17.95 for the minimum charge on 250 cubic feet per month, with the rate for up to 750 cubic feet going from $7.25 to $7.33 per 100 cubic feet. That price is based on a 2.9% increase in the Consumer Price Index by the U.S. Department of Labor Bureau and Labor Statistics. It's also not the only price increase Harrisburg residents will see. It was announced earlier this year that Republic Services would increase their garbage rate from $18.43 to $22.50. A brand new food pantry will open up in Harrodsburg. It's called the Hope for Harrodsburg Food Pantry and will have its grand opening a week from tomorrow. It'll be a shopping-style pantry, faith-based, and it'll be 100% volunteer-run. The grand opening for the Hope for Harrodsburg Food Pantry on South Main Street in Harrodsburg will be Wednesday, June 11th at 12 noon. And you know it's officially summer when Pioneer Playhouse opens up their season. This Friday is the opening night of Pioneer Playhouse's 76th year under the stars. They'll open up with a Sherlock Holmes mystery play called The Game's Afoot. Pioneer Playhouse plays will run Tuesday through Saturdays from June 6th to August the 9th with a special 3-night music performance August 14th through 16th. I'm Joe Mathis.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. It makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
All right, Jack, brought to you by our friends hanging out over at Danville Auto Body Shop. Top-of-the-line collision auto body repair. Realized I did it again. And I've done pretty well today. Getting Rayleigh Joe right instead of saying Jack. Danville Auto Body Shop, 315 Dillahay Street. Get a free estimate, and they work with their insurance company, fixing water leaks, window motor repairs, hail damage, and paintless tint repair. Hey, sunshine today and tomorrow. Then things change on Thursday as we get scattered rain showers and thunderstorms Thursday, Friday, and on Saturday. It's 8:37 in the morning, 57 degrees. Tuesday, the 3rd day of June. Pimmy, what's going on with you this morning? Wedding Planning with Pim.
Hi, I'm Pim Stewart Clark, and this is Wedding Planning with Pim. Imagine saying your vows on your own private yacht with family and friends. The stars, fresh air, the sea breezes. Romantic. But before the romance, you have to deal with the practical. Established boat and yacht companies offer boats with several decks, an open-air deck on top, and a lower enclosed deck for the reception. Be sure your chosen craft has a covered deck to provide protection from the cool night air and rain. Check the deck surface for some traction on the floor so your guests won't have to worry about slipping. You'll need to take a close look at the type restroom facilities on board. So ask the boat captain for the tour of the restrooms to be sure the facilities are suitable. Boats are exposed to the elements, so take a tour to be sure there's no smell of mildew in the lounges. A quality yacht will have polished brass, clean carpets, and suitable ropes and ladders. Be sure the boat is well maintained and attractive enough for your big day. Ask the captain for proof of training, his commission, and that he has full safety certification. If you have handicapped guests, be sure they'll be able to access the boat. My love note, be prepared to have more yes RSVPs for your boat or yacht wedding. It's the lure of the sea, so more of your guests are likely to accept your invitation.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I was always tired, with weekly bouts of indigestion. A friend asked me, when was the last time you did a detox? Never, I said, so she recommended Active Liver.
Our liver works hard every day to remove toxins from processed foods and unclean air and water. But too many toxins can overwhelm the liver, causing it to actually store toxins in our body fat. Low energy, brain fog, headaches, bloating, and skin irritation are all telltale signs that we need to act. Water or juice fasts can help, but often require days or weeks of feeling tired and sick. Thankfully, there's an easier way. Active Liver from New Nordic is a natural supplement that helps your liver effectively eliminate toxins on a daily basis, leaving you feeling better with more energy and less bloating.
Within a week of taking Active Liver, I was feeling better, and now I have more energy than I've had in years.
Available in both tablet or delicious gummies, you can find Active Liver online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or in stores at your local CVS or Meijer grocery.
Step into Papa's Quick Stop number 7 across from the Boyle County Fairgrounds and discover the enchanting world of Candleberry candles in the huge Candleberry Corner. Refresh your world with an array of fresh cargo scents for your car for just $1.99. Tantalizing tarts, $7.99. Delightful room sprays for $9.50. Small jars are $14.99. Large jars, $25.99. Grand candy jars for $89.99. And a large selection of cookie jars for that special someone at $159.99. Visit Papa's Quick Stop number 7 across the Boyle County Fairgrounds on the bypass for an exhilarating experience like no other.
Discover the power of radio. If you own a retail business, you should consider radio to influence new and repeat customers throughout the buying cycle. People frequently compare prices, quality, and service. You want your name to be consistently fresh in their minds when they ultimately decide to make their purchase. Discover the power of radio.
Promote your business to thousands of potential customers every week. To learn more, go online to advertisecentralkentucky.com. That's advertisecentralkentucky.com.
Be prepared for what Mother Nature brings. Keep up to date with weather forecasts here every hour on WHIR.
8:41 on the Joe Show, Tuesday, June the 3rd. We'll have James the Gardener coming on the show here in just a bit. Remember, this Thursday, June the 5th, we know there's a lot going on. Busy day, baseball and softball, Boyle County State Tournament. We get it. If you are staying here and you're going to be listening to the game on the radio, you can always go to Constitution Square beginning at about 5 o'clock for the Pies in the Park to benefit the Kiwanis Club of Danville, a sweet way to help raise funds for kids helped by the Danville and Boyle County Family Resource Centers. All the money raised goes to benefit the Family Resource Centers at the area schools. And I think When Tabitha and Scott were in studio last week, they said they have 38 pies, or I guess 38 pie makers, and different people. I was talking with Coach Haddix. He's one of the pie makers, and he told me what type of pie he's making. Now, it's a secret, so I'm not going to tell it. But he did tell me more than likely he's making this such and such pie. And it's celebrity pie makers, basically, local people that you'll know making pies. And you can go in, you can taste test a sample of the pie, even get a small little bit of ice cream with it. And then after that, you can bid on those pies. The auction will start at 5:30. Again, Pies in the Park going on at Constitution Square. That's Thursday, beginning at 5 o'clock, going until about 7:30 or so. Some of the best locally made pies available to sample. And then you can bid on a whole pie yourself. You can bid on that, and the money on those pies goes to benefit the Kiwanis Club, and they will donate that to the Family Resource Centers at Danville and Boyle County Schools. Speaking of food, let's see what's going on in Grub Gab, the world of food where you can always just eat it. Here we go. Keebler has announced the introduction of limited edition Superman fudge stripes to coincide with the new Superman movie release on July the 11th. I had no idea there was another Superman movie coming out. It's their fudge choco vanilla cookies as well as strongberry. Senior brand manager of Ferrero Cookies, Kim Thomas, said, quote, "We know our fudge stripes cookies help create special moments for families. That's why we're introducing this new summer flavor, giving families and Superman fans of every generation another delicious way to connect and create sweet memories. Our partnership with Warner Brothers Discovery allows us to make movie experiences more meaningful and draw a new generation of fans into the iconic franchises of Keebler and Superman. The new Superman Fudge Stripes features a mixed berry fudge flavor that goes well with numerous food and dessert options. They're available at stores now for a suggested price of $4.80. You can check with your local retailer for availability and for pricing. Popeyes is entering the chicken wrap arena with the launch of their own new chicken wraps with McDonald's in mind as their main competitor. McDonald's, the first to introduce snack wraps back in 2016, and everybody wants them, but McDonald's just won't bring them back. So Popeyes sees an opening to the market. Popeyes is introducing new summer beverages as well for this summer. The new offerings are berry-focused with chilled or frozen blueberry lemonade, blueberry sweet tea, and blueberry unsweet tea. Look for the new chicken wraps and beverages at participating locations nationwide at Popeyes. And hey, Hormel Foods is recalling over 250,000 pounds of canned beef stew. According to federal health officials, the nationwide recall was issued due to potential contamination with wood fragments. The recall products have a February 2028 Best By date printed on the 20-ounce cans containing Dinty Moore beef stew. There have been no confirmed reports of injury, however. Consumers who have the product at home are encouraged to throw it away or return it to the place of purchase. Hormel recalls canned beef stew. Popeyes launches new chicken wraps. Keebler introduces limited edition Superman fudge stripes. Grub Gab, you can always just eat it on The Joe Show. It's 8:45 in the morning. We see what's gone on this date, the 3rd day of June, in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history, and get an update from James the Gardener. It's coming up next.
Graceland Air, a local HVAC company, offers a wide range of services and provides each customer with an effective and long-term solution in both heating and air conditioning repair. They're committed to excellence in every aspect, exceptional quality of service, high standard of integrity. You are the basis of their business, and they service all brands. Go online to graceland-ky.com for more information. You gotta go with
Graceland. Graceland Air. Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. The NCAA college baseball playoffs are headed to the Super Regionals this weekend, and Murray State will be there. The Racers were the 4 seed in the Oxford region and beat host Ole Miss 12-11 last night to advance to their first ever trip to the Super Regionals. They'll visit Duke this weekend for the best 2 out of 3. Other scores yesterday: Tennessee 11, Wake Forest 5, LSU 10, Arkansas Little Rock 6, Miami of Florida 5, Southern Mississippi 4, Oregon State 9, Southern Cal nothing, and North Carolina 14, Oklahoma 4. Louisville will be hosting Miami this weekend. The Women's College World Series is set in Oklahoma City as Texas takes on Texas Tech in a best 2 out of 3 beginning tomorrow. Yesterday, Tech edged defending champion Oklahoma 3-2, while the Longhorns blanked Tennessee 2-0. Boyle County will represent the 12th region in the state high school baseball and fast-pitch softball tournaments this week in Lexington on the University of Kentucky campus, and both teams play Thursday afternoon. In baseball, Boyle meets Boyd County at 1:30, while in fast-pitch softball, Boyle plays Rowan County at 5:30, both games on Z105. In Major League Baseball Monday, Milwaukee won its 8th straight game, 3-2 over the Reds. Baseball's best team this year, the Detroit Tigers, are the first to win 40 games after flogging the White Sox 13-1. The Rockies finally won their 10th game of the year, 6-4 over the Marlins, while the Angels, Mets, Padres, and Twins all won. The final leg of the Triple Crown in horse racing is the Belmont Stakes this Saturday in New York. The morning line favorite is Journalism, who won the Preakness and was runner-up in the Kentucky Derby. Derby winner Sovereignty is the second choice at 2-1. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
Did you know that WHIR AM 1230 is the talk of the town? We're not spreading gossip. We're just letting you know where the best talk radio is found all day, every day. Mornings begin with Danville's own Joe Mathis and The Joe Show.
Hey, this is Joe Mathis.
Wake up to what you missed. News, weather, sports, and local guests. Followed by Kentucky Sports Radio with Matt Jones.
Welcome, everyone. Kentucky Sports Radio. I'm Matt Jones.
Then, the man who has an opinion about everything, Tomas Mauricio.
I'm Tomas Mauricio. I invite you to tune in.
Starting at noon with Advocates for America. Then at 3, it's the best-known name in news, Sean Hannity.
Join me, Sean Hannity, on WHIR.
Then, Joe Pag starts off weekday evenings at 6 with his take on the day's news, mixed with his fun parody songs about the news.
Hey, it's Joe Pag on WHIR.
Afterwards, at 10, it's the unique world of John B. Wells on WHIR with his Caravan to Midnight show.
This is John B. Wells, WHIR, AM 1230 and FM 103.9.
These guys have a lot to say, and they'll be glad to have you join them every weekday on your home for news, talk, sports. AM 1230, WHIR, the talk of the town.
Serving Boyle County seniors, a gathering place.
Our Adult Day Healthcare Services provide independence through assistance for adults with special needs ages 21 and over. Our participants enjoy games, reality orientation, cognitive and physical activities, exercise, music and craft programs, while offering families freedom and peace of mind knowing their loved ones are cared for in a safe, supportive environment. Visit thegatheringplace.org, follow on Facebook and Instagram for more info.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
All righty, ready, Joe. Brought to you by the Big Deals Online Store, HometownLive.net. Shop and save on gift certificates to local businesses at big-time discounts up to 50% every day. The Big Deals Online Store is at HometownLive.net. Mostly sunny, 86 is your high. Low tonight of 66. Sunshine at 86 tomorrow. Rain shower chances on Thursday and on Friday, and on Saturday. Right now it's 8:51 in the morning. It is 57 degrees, and it is time to get a gardening tip today.
And now, for the next few minutes, the man with the jolly green thumb and the big straw hat is going to tell us where it's at. Gardening with James, that's the name. Growing good food, that's our aim. Working in our garden every day. Well, we might not be all that pretty, but we don't mind getting all dirty and gritty. Growing our food the natural way. Yes, we're gardening with James, the natural way. Let's dig it, James.
All right, James the gardener.
What's going on, Joe Show?
What's up with James the gardener?
Oh, the temperatures are rising.
Yep.
And this time of year, I like to tell people, pick and choose the best time for you to go out into your yard to cut the grass, because it's cooler at 50 in the morning, 50s and 60s in the morning, than it would be at, say, from 12 to 3 or 4, because today it's going to get up to, 85 or something like that.
86, yep. 86 is the high today.
Yeah, so you want to make sure you pick the best time for you. Now, if you're a roofer, well, that's different. But you're so cool. But yeah, if you're a roofer, that's a different story, because I'm not quite sure how they schedule it, but I was watching some guys just down the roof. It was about, maybe 5 o'clock, but I think they had skipped the middle of the day and done most of it early morning. But they was rolling right along, and I was like, that's, I appreciate those guys, because that's one job I wouldn't have. Because, roof and shingles and things like that, there's so much that can happen. But, in the garden, like say, pick and choose the best time. If you're on medication or something like that, it may not work with your medicine. Mm-hmm. So, be real careful, and don't be out there any longer than you have to, because heat strokes will start to happen, once you get up to 85, 90, because if they say it's going to be 86, well, it may be just a little higher than 86. It may be 89. So just be real careful to be out there, and make sure that your pets, if you've got pets outside, make sure that you give them water. Or bring them in if you need to, or put them in a shade place, so this way they can live happy just like you.
Gardening with James, Tuesdays and Thursdays, right here on the Joe Show at this time.
Yes, sir.
All right, James, before you go, I've already got queued up what's gone on in this date in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history. How's that sound?
Let's do it.
Starting off, James, on this date, June the 3rd in 1967, where this artist went number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with her version of this song. It was originally Otis Redding who had this song, Respect. A number 10 hit on the UK charts, a number 1 hit on the US charts. Aretha Franklin scored her first number 1 on the US charts, and 20 years later would score her first number 1 on the UK charts with a duet with George Michael called I Knew You Were Waiting. On this date, 1967, one of the great songs, Respect, went number 1 on the US charts. It was on this day, rock and roll, pop, and R&B 1967, where this song was released in the U.S.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a lie.
This is The Doors, their song Light My Fire, where it went to be number 1 later on the charts 2 months later. When the Doors were booked to appear on the Ed Sullivan Show, they were asked to change the line, Girl, We Couldn't Get Much Higher, as the sponsors weren't comfortable with a possible reference to drug taking. The band agreed to do so. Yeah, we'll do that. And did a rehearsal using the amended lyrics. However, during the live performance, Jim Morrison said, "Psych!" sang the original lyric, and they were informed after the show they will never appear on the Ed Sullivan Show ever again. On this date, 1967, The Doors released this song, Light My Fire. Would go number 1 2 months later. It was on this day, rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history, and I guess we have to add an extra genre for today. On this date in rock and roll, pop, R&B, and reggae history.
Yeah, man.
Where Bob Marley and the Wailers released an album called Exodus. The album featured the hits Jammin', Waitin' in Vain, Three Little Birds, and One Love. In 1999, Time magazine named this album the best album of the 20th century. On this day, 1977, Bob Marley and the Wailers released the album Exodus.
Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds, it's by my doorstep.
And it was on this day, rock and roll, pop, and R&B, 1995. This artist started a 5-weeker at number 1 with this one.
First time our eyes met, same feeling.
It's Bryan Adams. The name of the song, Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman? Taken from the film Don Juan DeMarco. It became Adams' third U.S. solo number 1. It would reach top 5 on the charts in the UK. Bryan Adams on this day, 1995. Started a 5-week run at number 1 with the song, Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman?
You're the only one I ever was. I only wanna make it good.
There you go. Bryan Adams, Bob Marley, The Doors, and Aretha Franklin have made their mark on this date, June the 3rd, in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history.
Please forgive me.
Summertime, summertime, summertime.
Please.
Summertime, summertime, summertime.
We're all ready for some summertime fun and at a big deals price. Go to Beach Bend Park and Splash Lagoon Water Park with admission tickets just $30 at Big Deals online store at hometownlive.net. They're determined and dedicated to providing safe, clean fun for all guests this summer. Beach Bend has rides for everyone in the family, including the nationally recognized Kentucky Rumbler wooden roller coaster. There's the whole family ride, the Wet Adventure down the Whitewater Express. And there's plenty of fun at Splash Lagoon Water Park. A day of summer fun, plus included with your admission ticket, you get free parking, free sunscreen, free tubes, all at Beach Bend Park in Bowling Green. Just a 2-hour drive away, so get ready to pack up and go to Beach Bend Park with admission tickets just $30 for a full day of fun in the sun. Go to hometownlive.net and click on Big Deals. So shop now! Shop now, buy now. Also save $5 on Pioneer Playhouse tickets.
Are you considering starting a business or expanding your existing business? Are you looking for a stable partner you can trust to help you understand your options? This is Ricky Peterson. I'm a loan officer at Whitaker Bank at the Danville Main Street office. As a part of your community, I'm here to help you understand the best options for you today and in the future. Give me a call at 859-236-9822. Let me show you what Uniquely Kentucky means. Whitaker Bank, Uniquely Kentucky, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 9 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Prosecutors are filing federal and state charges against the suspect in the anti-Semitic Colorado fire attack, NBC's Jay Gray.
Mohammed Sobri Salman, a 45-year-old Egyptian national who visa expired in 2023, so he was here in the U.S. illegally, though ICE says that that's not someone they would have targeted for deportation. He has been charged with a federal hate crime as well as 16 counts of attempted murder, 8 of those with intent and after deliberation, 8 more with extreme indifference.
He's accused of using a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails in Sunday's attack in Boulder, which injured 12 people. China is pushing back on the White House contention that it broke the Geneva Trade Agreement. Mitch McCann with more.
After President Trump claimed that China had violated its trade truce, only weeks old, Beijing hit back on Monday, saying that if the U.S. continues to damage China's interests, it will take forceful measures to safeguard its legitimate rights.
China instead accused the U.S. of breaching the deal's terms. Trade tensions between the two countries have been rising again after the Trump administration put more export restrictions on semiconductor design software and chemicals to China. An International Economic Development Agency is lowering the U.S. economic growth forecast. Earlier today, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development downgraded its predictions for U.S. growth this year from 2.2% to 1.6%. Cited President Trump's tariff policies, economic uncertainty, and a slowdown in immigration and a smaller federal workforce. And a cup of coffee in the morning could be just what the doctor ordered for women. Research out of Harvard University followed a group of 50,000 women for 30 years. Drinking coffee every morning was linked to staying mentally sharp. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Farm Bureau Insurance helps protect more than 474,000 Kentucky families and businesses. Many of our members have been with us for years, even decades. Perhaps it's because of the competitive rates or our unmatched service. Or maybe the biggest reason is they know they can count on Kentucky's insurance company to be there when it matters. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment. Connect with your local agent at mykfbagent.com.
I'm Trooper Thomas with the Kentucky State Police.
And I'm Trooper William Gallo with the Kentucky State Police.
Responding to crashes involving deaths or injuries is the toughest part of our job.
When you drive, there's so much out of your control.
But what you do have control over is wearing a seatbelt. Less than 2 seconds.
That's all the time it takes to buckle up.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws? It's not about writing tickets.
It's about saving lives.
Kentucky, please, always buckle up.
A message from Team Kentucky and the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
Actor Jonathan Joss is dead. He was 59. Mark Mayfield with more.
Morning, John Redcorn.
Oh, Peggy, just dropping off a new healing herb for Nancy to help with her migraines.
According to the San Antonio Police Department, Joss was fatally shot by his neighbor on Sunday after they reportedly got into a heated argument. The gunman shot Joss several times and fled the scene, but was arrested by police near the area. Joss was known for playing the role of John Redcorn on the animated series King of the Hill.
Mount Etna began erupting Monday in Sicily. It's the largest eruption in years. U.S. tourists Keith and Kristen Nesvender were just back from a tour of the Italian volcano when they witnessed the eruption from about 30 miles away.
It's going right now. Yeah.
I mean, this morning was the most astounding thing I've ever seen in my life.
Italy's National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology says the eruption by Europe's most active volcano was caused when part of the southeast crater collapsed, resulting in hot lava flows. But officials say the activity appeared to ease up and it posed no danger to the local population. Tremors from the eruption were widely felt in the towns and villages on Mount Etna's flanks. Bill Gates says he plans to spend the majority of his fortune on improving health and education across Africa. Tammy Trujillo with details.
Speaking in Ethiopia at the headquarters of the African Union Monday, the Microsoft co-founder says he plans to put $200 billion from the Gates Foundation toward addressing challenges across the continent. He said the money will be spent over the next 20 years before his foundation is shut down in 2045.
The son of 16 and pregnant star Whitney Purvis is dead. Weston Gosa Jr. was found unresponsive Monday at his Georgia home and was pronounced dead at a local hospital. He was 16. No cause of death was given, but Purvis said her son had several health issues. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
And at what point does anyone ask the tough question, is there any degree of elder abuse here? Because it had to be worse behind the scenes. I think you saw the best of him. And Congressman Seth Moulton on with Bill Maher over the weekend saying part of the reason for the cover-up of Biden's mental fitness is because Democrats feared being honest would help Donald Trump. We also found out over the weekend, and this doesn't surprise me because we were calling it out at the time. Remember, they would not go to East Palestine. They were too busy. And now we find out the Biden White House insisted families were safe publicly, but they found that it was toxic and could cause cancer and warned of a cancer cluster, and they weren't telling the people of East Palestine.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Pure Talk, my wireless company, a veteran-owned company, believes every man, every woman who has faithfully served this country deserves to proudly fly an American flag that was made in America. And that's why Pure Talk is on a mission to give an allegiance flag the highest quality American flag made in Charleston, South Carolina, to 1,000 veterans in time for these patriotic holidays. Just switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk. Do it this month, and a portion of every sale will go to provide these high-quality flags, hand-sewn, to the deserving vets. Now, with plans starting at just $25 a month for unlimited talk and text and plenty of data, you can enjoy America's most dependable 5G network, all while cutting your cell phone bill in half. Average family saves over $1,000 a year. You just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now. Pure Talk's customer service will make the switch. Pound 250, keyword save now, support our veterans, and switch to America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. It makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Danville Boyle County Parks and Rec will hold a block party this Saturday. It'll happen at Jackson Park in Danville, where there will be free food, bounce houses, and a slip and slide. Again, it's this Saturday from 11 o'clock until 3 at Jackson Park in Danville. The Kentucky Public Service Commission has approved an application that will bring a new natural gas-fueled power plant to Casey County. The Casey County News is reporting that approved application will bring that power plant off of Kentucky 49 in Casey County. The plant will be called the Liberty Station and will be on 100 acres about 4 miles north of the Liberty city limits near a natural gas line and a high-voltage electric transmission line. It's expected to employ 23 people when it's completed. Work on it's expected to begin in the fall of 2026. The Harrisburg City Commission has given a first reading to ordinances that would authorize sewer and water rate increases. The Harrisburg Herald's reporting that the ordinance would raise sewer fees from $17.44 to $17.95 for the minimum charge on 250 cubic feet per month, with the rate for up to 750 cubic feet going from $7.25 to $7.33 per 100 cubic feet. That price is based on a 2.9% increase in the Consumer Price Index by the U.S. Department of Labor Bureau and Labor Statistics. It's also not the only price increase Harrisburg residents will see. It was announced earlier this year that Republic Services would increase their garbage rate from $18.43 to $22.50. A brand new food pantry will open up in Harrodsburg. It's called the Hope for Harrodsburg Food Pantry and will have its grand opening a week from tomorrow. It'll be a shopping-style pantry, faith-based, and it'll be 100% volunteer-run. The grand opening for the Hope for Harrodsburg Food Pantry on South Main Street in Harrodsburg will be Wednesday, June 11th at 12 noon. And you know it's officially summer when Pioneer Playhouse opens up their season. This Friday is the opening night of Pioneer Playhouse's 76th year under the stars. They'll open up with a Sherlock Holmes mystery play called The Game's Afoot. Pioneer Playhouse plays will run Tuesday through Saturdays from June the 6th to August the 9th with a special 3-night music performance August 14th through 16th. I'm Joe Mathis.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
All right, Jackhead Boy, Rayleigh Joe, brought to you by our friends over at Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance, your local independent insurance agency, proudly representing the Auto Owners Insurance Company. Ask if auto owners make sense for you by calling Mark or Chris for a free quote, 859-236-6686. Sunshine and 86 is the high today. A low tonight of 66. Tomorrow, you get sunshine and 86 is the high. Thursday, rain shower and thunderstorm chances Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Tonight's forecast is interesting because it says patchy smoke between midnight and 2 a.m. I guess that's from the Canadian wildfires blowing down here. Not fog. It didn't say patchy fog. It says patchy smoke between midnight and 2. Because, there's huge wildfires in Canada that are burning right now.
Oh, I did not
And the
know
wildfire
that.
smoke is, blowing this way. So I guess they think there's going to be some smoke in the atmosphere from the wildfires there in Canada.
Well, that's a new one.
Right now, it's 62 degrees
Who
on
would have
this
thought about that?
Tuesday, June the 3rd, and Dusty joins us here in studio this morning. Hello, Dusty. How are you?
I'm tired, Joe. I'm not gonna lie.
Summer break is kicking you in the rear early on, huh?
Well, no. We had the Brass Band Festival.
Oh yeah.
And that was a trip. Everybody seemed to have a good time. Saturday we shut stuff down, clean stuff up, and then we're all looking at each other, and it's one of those you feel exhausted. But it's like a proud moment. It's a proud exhaustion. Everybody had a good time, right? Nothing burnt down. We pulled off a good festival.
Yeah, the weather was perfect. Too.
Absolutely.
We were worried about the rain a little bit Friday, and then we saw a forecast showing it was maybe going to clear out. And Friday night was perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Saturday all day long was great. So it was a great weather weekend, at least. That part was handled.
Yes, and then I knew we were getting a little because I think graduation started at 7:30 for Boyle, I believe.
Yes, it did. Saturday night, 7:30. Yep.
Okay, so because I'm sitting there and I would drive past where the golf carts usually sit, and I could see the golf carts starting to stack up with nobody in it, and I know it's where are our volunteers going?
Going to graduation.
Yeah, they all had to go to graduation. So Saturday night proved a little it gets a little hairy just because there's stuff that you just people never think about, right?
Yeah.
For instance, Danny and I had to go out to Walmart. Well, okay, so first off, there's a band member that was sitting there, and he was like, "Hey, do you know anything about the shuttle?" And I just shook my head. I was like, "No, I don't. What are you talking about?" So most of the bands, if they were from out of town, because you got Lowdown Brass and Soul Rebels, they were from out of town. I think one of them was from Chicago. But they stayed the night at Red Roof Inn.
Okay.
And so apparently, I think Bluegrass Rides offered a shuttle.
Yeah, Bluegrass Rides, okay.
From Red Roof Inn to the festival. But we didn't know anything about it. And so, or at least I didn't. And so I asked around, and of course everybody's busy and stuff of that nature. So we got a text from Michael and said, "Hey, hospitality food is running a little low. Can you go and pick up some food?" And so I found the two band members, and they were still waiting on a shuttle. And I was like, "Hey guys, we're going to Kroger or Walmart." I was like, "Red Roof is just right there. You just want to ride?" They're like,
okay.
Sure.
So you shuttled the band members.
We shuttled the band members to Red Roof, and I gave them my number because I was like, "Hey, if for some reason you can't find a way back, let me know because we want you to come play."
Yeah.
But I saw them later on that night, and I was excited because I was like, "You made it back!"
Yeah. So, what do you all have a total count of the number of people that you think were there? Is that even possible?
Not. It's there's ways to estimate it. I haven't heard any estimates, but
they use trash, don't they? How much trash was thrown out?
Okay, so if that's the case, then we generated a bunch because by the end of the night, Danny and I were looking for empty cans because the ones closest to the grounds or the main area where people were, they were overflowing. And so what we would do is we swap some out, but whenever because we have a place where we kept a bunch of trash cans and then we cycled through the empty ones and filled up the other ones, right? But whenever we got there, they were all kind of full. And so then we had to end up breaking more down and shoving more in different trash cans. And then, and so that we condensed it all down, we filled more up so that way we can get emptier ones, and we drug those over there so that way stuff wouldn't just keep piling up and overflowing.
Yeah.
So we did all that. So if you're judging by that, all those trash cans were completely full and overflowing, and so that was a time. And then I always kind of judge it by how many. I think we floated a bunch of kegs. I know that of beer and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And so that's a good judgment. And then a bunch of food trucks sold out of food. They were all happy. But I know that there was a Mexican Indian fusion place. that was apparently really good, and I tried to get there, but by the time I got there, they had sold out.
Like it fused Indian and Mexican food together?
Yes. So it's like you could have like a curry, like a butter chicken curry quesadilla or something.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, apparently it was very good.
Wow.
And people told me all about it, and so I went over there, and they're like, no, we sold out.
No more.
And I was like, no.
Yeah, so, well, it sounds like, for all intents and purposes, a great weekend.
Yes.
I was not able to make it this year for the Brass Band Festival. Friday night, Jack had baseball practice, and Rebecca's family, sister and brother-in-law were in Saturday, and then Jack played baseball games on Saturday.
Well, you could come out afterwards. I'm sure he wasn't playing 10 o'clock at night.
We ended at 10:30 at night.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it was started to just barely sprinkle on us at 10:30 in the evening as we lost the championship game Saturday night.
So. That's a rough one then.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go anywhere after
I
that.
did drive by Friday, and after Jack's practice, had the windows down, and we saw the Bayou and Brass going on. And again, the weather was perfect.
Yes.
Like, if we didn't have anything else to do, like, that would have been just going out and sitting in the cooler late spring temperatures, just hanging out would have been a perfect night.
Yeah, I mean, Friday was very busy. We were impressed by Friday. And then Saturday, even though, graduation was still going on, we looked out there, and the place is still packed. People still having a good time. We had a lot of compliments. Some of the feedback that I heard, as far as not sound-wise, but some of the stuff people were telling me is that they do enjoy the Friday night being down there. Because I know that is still a recent change, I guess, if you will. And so they still enjoy Friday night being down there because the food trucks are down there and all that. We ran out of pins, apparently. I didn't know these pins were so popular, but a lot of people collect them. They have, every year of Brass Band, a little pin, and apparently we didn't order enough.
Okay.
So we might have to correct that. And then I think there was, one more thing. Oh, I have it written down somewhere. But...
So ordering more pins.
Doing that. And I think we have to get more volunteer shirts because I think we just ran out of a size. And so it's some people were wearing just cape kind of big ones for what they were wearing. You get these little scrawny teenagers coming in with a huge shirt, and they don't kind of like it. So there was a truck that was all the way down at the end toward the dorms. It was a barbecue truck.
Okay.
And so my boys and I are walking, and they're trying to pick out food. And, you try to do the parent thing where it's you let them, order it, right?
Right.
They pick it out, and they have to tell the person, right? Because that's a skill that they have to learn.
I remember being a kid and being too shy to order my own food.
Exactly.
You got to learn how to order your own food.
You got to learn how to order your own food. And so they go up, and they order it. They got, barbecue... it's tater tots and with stuff on it.
Sounds
really
good,
right? Like nachos and stuff.
Yeah.
So they went up and ordered it, and I think Lucas got some mac and cheese or something. And so I stepped up, and I'm looking at the lady inside the truck, and I'm just like, where do I recognize this person? And she's looking at me kind of the same wway, and we're like, where's this?
How do I know you?
Right? She's like, what's the name? And I was like, Dusty. And she was like, oh, I'm the fairy godmother. You ran our show.
Oh, wow. For which show was it?
It was Lincoln County.
Okay.
Yeah. The high school, no, not High School Musical. What is it? Were there villain kids?
Oh, that's right. It was based on Red or something like that.
What is that called? Descendants.
Okay.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that play.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of plays, Dusty. You can't even remember which one. What was the play that Lincoln County did?
County.
Okay, The Descendants.
Descendants, yeah. She was the fairy godmother in it, and I was like, that's it. She was like, you're the sound guy. And I was like, yeah.
Yes.
But they did really well. They want to come back next year, and so... just good times all around. If you have feedback or anything you would like us to improve on, by all means, you could visit gabbf.org. And then there's a little message thing. You can send it to the president, and we can, we're always up.
Donald Trump?
Huh?
The president?
Oh, no.
You can send your comments to the president. We'll see what President Trump says about this.
We might get doged then.
Yes.
They might
Is
be
this festival really needed?
Right. We don't want to promote brass around here, right?
Well, good weekend then.
And then just a real quick thing, it's still a free festival. That's kind of hard to find. Everybody kind of enjoyed it. It's for the community. But it doesn't happen without the support of the community. So that means, we're was it a 501c3? I think is the fancy term for it. We're a nonprofit, right? And so it's like it was funny. Danny and I are running around like doing stuff, and this one guy stops us. He's like, "Hey man," he was like, "How do I volunteer for the festival and stuff?" And we told him where to go, and he's like, "Well, how much y'all get paid?" And we're like, "Nothing."
Volunteer?
Yeah.
Do you know what the definition of volunteer is?
It's like it doesn't work like that, pal.
Do the teenagers not get paid?
I don't think so.
Like even the teenage volunteers?
To the best of my knowledge, I don't think they do.
So I don't want to say like jealous is the right word. But when I was in high school, I had a lot of friends who worked at the Brass Band Festival, and I'm thinking, how come I didn't get invited to work at the Brass Band Festival?
You can come work for come on, right?
Didn't realize it was free. Never mind. All these years I've harbored resentment. I have been freed. Resentment no more.
I mean, let's put it one way. I didn't get paid anything.
But someone called me last Wednesday, right after the Boyle County and West Jessamine baseball game. Boyle beat West Jessamine in the region championship, and Boyle plays Thursday in the state tournament in baseball. Softball does as well. Doubleheader, baseball and softball in the state tournament.
Get it.
And they called me and they said, "Hey, what's the next step for Boyle County baseball? When do they play again?" And I said, "Well, they don't play till next Thursday." He's like, "Okay, because we have some of them that are working the Brass Band Festival, and we have to make sure that I can't schedule them or whatever if they're doing baseball."
Right.
And so I thought maybe they got paid at least like minimum wage. Some of them did.
No.
Yeah, but you're an adult. You already have another job. You don't need money. Teenagers need money, right? I don't know. I just can't imagine teenagers working much for free.
Well, I mean, it's not like we're demanding that much from them. I mean, they get
they get to drive around golf carts, right?
Well, some of them do. Some of them
that would be a privilege in and of itself.
Yeah,
then.
Some of them we are not allowed to put on golf carts anymore after this one.
Okay.
We see them flying by, and we're like, "Slow down!" And I'm like, "Gosh, I am a dad." It's a thing, right? Oh, speaking of dad, I had a dad move yesterday. I replaced my input valve to my washer.
Oh wow! I don't even know what that means.
Okay, so where you connect your the hoses that come from your wall, your hot and your cold,
right?
It goes into your washer,
right?
That's the input valve.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Monica, my wife, and I, we came to the same conclusion from separate research because what happened was we would turn on our shower because our shower's right next to the laundry room, and there would be water that just comes out
of the washer.
But into the tub. So it wasn't a huge deal, right?
Okay,
but except for whenever you have spun dry clothes and you're waiting on the dryer.
And now they're soaking wet again.
Or what's even worse is wherever you leave your stuff in your washer and you kind of forget about it or somebody.
And then they sour.
Yeah, then they sour. Well, they sour extra well if they just keep adding a little bit moisture in there.
Yeah, okay.
And so I looked up the washer. And then I looked up the parts, and then I ordered the part and replaced it, and it works.
I don't know how people before YouTube figured out how to fix things.
I have no idea.
So, I'm getting okay at, doing stuff to my lawnmower. Luckily, I've got YouTube.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. No, I totally YouTube this whole thing.
What did you do? How did you know how to replace the input valve in the washer if no one taught you and you didn't have YouTube? And how would you even look up that that's the problem? You just, I'm sure, Googled it.
Yeah. Well,
so before the internet, how are you looking up, why is my washer? What do you go into the library and looking it up in the encyclopedia?
No. I think you go to because they don't exist anymore. You go to your hardware store. Right?
Ace Hardware is still in existence.
But yeah, you go to your local hardware store. You find the oldest person there. And you're saying, "Hey, this is happening." They're like, "Oh, well,
it's got to be the input valve.
Here's what you got to do."
You have human YouTubes walking around, but the old people at hardware stores.
That's why I always say it's if you go to those hardware stores, it's don't ask the person that looks younger than me because they're just gonna pull up their phone and try to find it. You want to ask the oldest person you can find there because they're going to be like, "Well, what you need to do really is get you one of these. It's much cheaper. And you can put this in there."
Good point.
And you're like, "Thanks, Charles," right? Or Chuck. Those are always. So if you retire, you should have that's your qualifications. You have to be older enough. You have to retire, and then you get to work at Lowe's.
And you have to be named Chuck.
Yeah, or Charles. I think those are your two.
Those are the two names you get to pick from, which are the same name. Typically, someone named Chuck is also named Charles. Dusty Music, what do we got going on?
Music-wise, we are taking a break, so there's no Downtown Downbeats this Thursday. That counted as last Thursday, just because it worked out that way. So just so nobody's confused, our next one will be in July, which I believe is July 3rd, I think is our very next one.
July the 3rd.
Yes.
Is a Thursday, yeah.
Yep. And that'll be the first Thursday of July, so hopefully look for us then. But if you're looking for music this week, this Friday, you can check out Randall King. He's going to be at Manchester Music Hall along with Braxton Keith.
Okay.
The Oak Ridge Boys will be at Renfro Valley Saturday. If you want to go check out the Oak Ridge Boys with some
Elvira.
And then Clint Black will be at the Amp Log Still.
Nice.
At the amphitheater there. Dratton Farley will be at the Burl this Saturday as well. Farm Jam is going on at the McClurg Farm in Baghdad, Kentucky. You know where Baghdad, Kentucky is?
Yes, there's a church camp there.
Yep.
It's not Cedarmore. Is it Cedarmore? No, it's not Cedarmore.
I don't know.
It's Cedarmore, right?
I think we just did Baghdad Baptist, I want to say, is where.
Yeah, I don't know where it is, but I do know there is a Baghdad, Kentucky. I've driven by it before one time. I don't even know where we're coming back from. I may have gotten lost. I accidentally found Baghdad, but I have heard of it. I know there's a church camp there.
Yeah, you sneeze and you can go right through it. I know that there's like a big mill there, like a granary.
It is Cedarmore.
Yeah, it is.
It's a crossings camp, Cedarmore.
There you go.
Baghdad, Kentucky. See, I was right.
Yeah, don't doubt yourself.
I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I get my Kentucky geography down.
I just remember Baghdad, Kentucky, because we forgot our lunch, and then we went to this gas station that had a deli, and there was like
Baghdad?
In Baghdad, and so you could get, what was it? You can get like a turkey sandwich or a ham sandwich, and then a bologna sandwich, which I was that's like the bologna sandwich is like your cheapest sandwich. Then there was a sandwich called hot sauce.
What is that?
Not sauce, souse.
S-O-U-S or something?
S-O-U-C-E or something like that. Hot
okay,
souse.
what is that?
I had no idea, but I didn't want to get it. If it's cheaper than bologna, I don't even know.
You should have asked him. You didn't ask him in the gas station? No, I've never heard of this word.
Hot souse. But you could get a hot souse sandwich.
I don't know. I'm Googling hot sauce, and you'll never believe what's coming up.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Did you know you can buy hot sauce at Ace Hardware?
What?
Traeger hot sauce, Carolina Reaper, 8.75 ounces. Ace Hardware.
At Ace Hardware.
So there you go.
Hey, you wanna clean out everything
while you're changing your invalve tank.
Right.
You can buy some Traeger Carolina Reaper hot sauce.
To your washer, yeah. Other music stuff happening. You got Farm Jam, which we said is in Baghdad, Kentucky, so go check out that. Emily Roberts will also be playing at the Amp Log Still on Sunday. Emily Ann Roberts. And then Kelsey Lamb will be at Tin Roof on Saturday. Bedford will be at Chevy Chase Inn. And then Friday, June 6th, at the Burl is the ones that I picked out. It's called how would you say it? The Drop Teens?
The Drop Teens, probably.
The Drop Teens or Tines? Drop Tines?
I don't know if it's Drop Teens or Drop. I would just say Drop Teens.
Drop Teens. Then this song I picked out, which is
Bill of Sale.
Bill of Sale. It has a really haunting kind of it's that good music, that both country and western. And so it has a nice...
Over 6 million streams of this song.
There you go. It's kind of a spooky sound to it, which I thought would be good for this Tuesday. Kind of chill everybody out.
I used to be brash. I used to be bold. Lived off rhythm and road. I burnt every bridge, swindled and stole. Sold all stake in my soul. I went down to the creek to roll away stones. The water kept begging my bones. I started to sink, too late to atone. Drowning in the sins that I've sown. To have plenty, but the devil within me convinced me to roam where the hill country ends and skies turn empty. No God can defend me from the evil I
Yeah, it's definitely got Western country feel to it, like old classic Western music.
Right, with that nice reverby harmonica coming through there. Like, that's what you wander around in a canyon and you can hear that just coming out, right?
The Drop Teens, Bill of Sale, the name of this song.
Yes, they're going to be playing at the Burl this Friday. If you want to go check them out, they're in Lexington, Kentucky. Should be a good, interesting show there. So that'll be a lot of fun. Other stuff happening. Manchester Music Hall this Saturday. Britt Taylor would be there. And then there is a house concert with Aaron English in Taylorsville, Kentucky. So if you're looking for more kind of a intimate show, show up at somebody's house, which is kind of odd.
Yeah.
But hey, musicians do it, right? T.D. Young, the great T.D. Young, will be playing at the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame in Museum there in Mount Vernon, Kentucky, which I think is just right next door to Renfro Valley, right?
I have no idea. I've only been to Renfro once. I don't know what's around it.
But T.D. Young will be playing there Saturday.
Right.
If you like or enjoy that blues rock music, T.D. Young is a staple in Lexington. He's great. Twisted Cork this Saturday will feature Nick Dittmeyer as a solo performance. If you're a Nick Dittmeyer fan. So go check out all that stuff happening here and around Kentucky. All that live music is a good time. I will be at a wedding this Saturday.
There you go, DJing a wedding.
Yeah, working it, of course. Well, it's with Vinyl Richie, so I have to DJ.
Be fun.
Yeah, I have to DJ a bit. I will try not to set off the smoke alarm at this place.
Yes.
So hopefully that does not happen. But no guarantees. I might get a little frisky with my haze machine.
Dusty with the Kentucky Music Preview. Dusty, appreciate you being on.
No problem, Joe.
It's 9:32 in the morning, and it's a Tuesday with Stith coming up here next on The Joe Show on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. And it's Mary who's going to be in the studio with us this morning.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. It makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
At Monticello Bank, helping your business thrive is our business. We offer a variety of products designed to make banking easier. Whether your company is large or small, you can count on us to provide accounts, loans, and other services built around the way you do business, including e-deposit, our remote deposit capture system, and merchant processing. Speak with one of our representatives and let us help you solve your business financial needs today. Monticello Bank, where people matter. Member FDIC, equal housing lender on the Danville Bypass.
Planning a wedding? Paying for a wedding? Attending a wedding? Hi, this is Pim Fitzgerald-Clark with Wedding Planning with Pim, inviting you to join us Monday through Friday after the 8:30 morning news on WHIR AM 1230. I'll give you sound wedding planning advice and money-saving tips, information you need, and you'll get it all right here at your favorite radio station, WHIR AM 1230.
When the sun goes down, the stars come out at Pioneer Playhouse. Special events, 76th Anniversary Bash, June 14th, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. We're having a very special event and fundraiser to celebrate our 76th season. Please join us for our 76th Anniversary Bash on June 14th. No show that night, just dinner, dancing, drinks, and live music by Kelly Caldwell and Cashmere, Kentucky's premier 80s and 90s dance band. Tickets are $75 and can be purchased at pioneerplayhouse.com or by calling the box office at 859-236-2747. All proceeds go to help Pioneer Playhouse continue its mission to bring a unique theater experience to Kentucky. Pioneer Playhouse is located at 840 Stanford Road in Danville, Kentucky. Reservations must be made online or by calling the box office, 859-236-2747, or go to pioneerplayhouse.com for tickets. When the sun goes down, the stars come out at Pioneer Playhouse.
Sutton Pharmacy, friendly service from people you know. Generations of serving our community, immunizations, prescriptions, and so much more. Helpful people, free local delivery, mobile app refills right to your door. Visit SuttonRx.com. Sutton Pharmacy, friendly service from people you know.
In Lancaster on Maple Avenue.
Danville Deal Maker, Bob Allen.
Find new roads at Bob Allen Chevrolet. Live the HD life in a new 25 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. Now Bob Allen priced as low as $49,998. Stock in $25,498. Several HD models in stock to choose from. Bob Allen Chevrolet, located on Maple Avenue in Danville, or shop online anytime at BobAllenMotorMall.com. We are Danville's deal maker.
This is Caraway at Mattresses and More on Houstonville Road in Danville. If you are looking for new furniture or bedding, stop by and check us out. New items arriving weekly, and we sell off the floor. Buy it today and take it home today. We offer layaway and 12 months same as cash with approved credit.
Thank you, Caraway. Again, buy it today, take it home today. Living room suits, bedroom suits, dinette sets, recliners, and more. From Mattresses and More, Southland Plaza next to Ace Hardware.
Hello, I'm Adam Hopkins, Security Officer at Farmers National Bank. Scammers send text messages to trick you into providing information like your debit card or passwords. This is called smishing. Don't click text messages, links, or call phone numbers you don't know. When in doubt, delete.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
Thank you there, Rayleigh. Brought to you by our friends at Altogether Recovery Center, Danville's first residential addiction center for men, offering life-saving, compassionate care for drug and alcohol addiction. Altogether Recovery Center is now open in Danville. Mostly sunny, a high today of 86. Clear skies this evening, and a low tonight of 66. Tomorrow, sunshine, 86 is the high. Thursday, chance of rain showers, and a high Thursday of 83. Right now, it's 9:38 in the morning. It is a Tuesday with Stith, as Mary Stith Hamlin joins us this morning here in studio. And to make this segment official, here's Jim Parman.
The following is a paid program.
Thank you for that, Jim. And we welcome on to the show Mary. What's going on with Mary this morning?
Oh, Mary's here. Mary's awake. Mary's dressed. Mary's hanging in there today.
Did Ann Yeager tell you got radio duty today?
Yes, she did. She
Yep.
called and said, "Mom, can you?" And I said, "Certainly." And really, there's something I've been thinking about a lot lately that I would like to talk about.
Okay,
And
good.
it's about children coming to funerals.
Okay.
We had a parent not too long ago say, "No, I'm not going to subject my children to that." So that means they want to subject the children to a lifetime of never having gotten to say goodbye to the grandfather or the grandmother that they saw every day almost.
Yeah.
And I know parents are just trying to protect their children, but their children will be a lot better off if you give them the opportunity to see that person. They're not going to be scared anymore because until they see them, they don't know what it is they're missing.
Yeah.
And we explain death to children down to about, I've talked to 15 months old kids, and they don't understand a word I'm saying, but at least
you
we
do your
did
best.
it.
Yeah. Try your best. Not only that, but you're also letting you know, a child is going to learn one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
So you're letting the child then learn from more than likely movies and television and media what a funeral and what death is
and
like.
when Ann Yeager and I were talking this morning, and she said, you know, Mom, kids see people die all the time on TV. And she said, you know, she had a little boy not too long ago when he went up to see his grandfather with the whole family, and she had talked to him. He was surprised that there wasn't blood all over his grandfather because that's what he saw on TV.
Right, yeah.
And so now that's something I think she's going to add in, is that, you know, we've given him a bath and he's got his clothes on, and that would have explained to him why there wasn't any blood. And she probably, I think she already says that, but he may not have caught it.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a difference. And I have had so many young mothers later on say, I am so glad you all did that. We couldn't have done it. We would have cried through the whole thing. But you all talked to the kids, and we talked to you know, teenagers, middle school, all ages of kids, and we answer their questions, and you have to answer their questions honestly, because if you don't, and they find out later on that you lied to them, you're in trouble.
Yeah. And kids got a lot of questions, right?
Yeah, they do. They have wonderful questions. Wonderful questions.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really, and I want the parents to be there. You know, we want them to hear everything that is said to their children. And if they have, and sometimes parents have questions that the kids haven't asked. So it's extremely important for the kids to be shown the respect that they are part of the family. And if they're not allowed to do what everybody else in the family does, then they feel like they're not good enough to do that. And that's really hard on them.
What do you think is the hesitancy with parents not wanting, for those that do not want to involve their children in funerals? Why do you think that is?
Well, they just think that number one, it's easier for them.
Like there's no child running around being
they don't have
misbehaving,
to think
potentially.
about their children. They just need to take care of themselves.
Okay.
And if you know, if the child has a lot of questions that they can't answer, that scares them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What about you mentioned the child having questions they don't know how to answer. Obviously the behavior of the kids as well. It's just one of those things where the parent feels like they can protect their child, so to say.
Yes,
like,
they want to protect them so that
they're
they
young
won't
and innocent.
hurt.
They don't need to know about death.
They've seen their grandparent every week or every day or how often. They know that's their grandparent. Mm-hmm. Or they know that their grandparent, maybe the family tells them that they died. I know that years ago I had a young mother that called me a couple of weeks after the funeral, and she said, Mary, I need your help. And I said, what? And she said, I just told my son that, you know, Grandpa died 2 weeks ago. And now he wants to see him, and he wants to ask questions. And he went to school, and he came back saying, well, this friend of mine went to see him in a big house, he said. And we had to bring him into the funeral home and explain to him everything that was done.
He'd already been buried, I guess, at that point?
Oh, yeah, it was all over, and it was too late to do anything. And I had talked to her at the time about bringing him in. Oh, no, she didn't want to. She wasn't going to subject him to that. She was pretty mad at me.
Yeah.
At the first time.
Yeah.
But
2 weeks later, she understood where you were coming from.
Her son educated her.
Yeah. Again, today talking the importance of having young children involved in the funeral, the visitation and funeral process, and you know they will grieve and mourn kind of in their own way too, just like adults grieve and mourn differently.
Just let the children do what they want. We had a family years ago, and if they're listening, they will know who I'm talking about. But I think there was a little 6-year-old girl in the family, and there were 3 older either siblings or cousins. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember whether they were all boys or boys and girls, whatever, but each one of those older kids was going to read something or have a prayer at the funeral. And when the little girl heard her mother and I sitting there talking about it, she said, well, what am I going to do? And this was during visitation the night before. And I looked at her, I said, what would you like to do? She said, I want to dance. I can dance. And so she did a little ballet the next day at the funeral, and it was one of the sweetest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I never thought about something like that.
And that was the grandma's funeral, you said?
It was her grandmother's funeral, and she did a ballet, and it was just sweet. We played her music for her, and just that was what she could do for her grandmother, because her grandmother loved her taking ballet lessons.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I bet Grandma would have been smiling so proudly. Yeah, knowing
that. Wouldn't that be neat? Yeah, it was really something else. So you know, just think about what your kids like. You know, what would they like to do?
Mary Stiff with Stiff Funeral Home joins us this morning here in studio. 859-236-2113 is the phone number to call in, 236-2113. Now, Mary, Ann Yeager has mentioned multiple times on the air that she doesn't think really there's any question that's too strange to ask. She's been asked very, very strange questions. But I'm reading this story from an individual, I don't know where they are, about how this person's spouse wants to do something specific at his funeral. So I assume this is the wife of the husband, and when her husband dies, I don't know if he's close to dying, they're just talking about the funeral, whatever. He wants something done at his funeral, and I've never heard of something like this, and this may be up there. You know, we could challenge Ann Yeager and say nothing's strange, but this is awfully strange. And we're going to talk about this and how you would address this situation coming up right after this on The Joe Show on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. It is 9:47 in the morning on a Tuesday with Stiff.
My name is Chase Harrington, and I'm from Nicholsville, Kentucky. I've been singing for about 7 years. When I got into performance, I came to Studio G. I've been learning how to look good on stage, how to bring out my voice more in the songs that I sing, how to get confidence. I hear an immense difference in my voice compared to when I started coming here.
Studio G is the performing arts place. To learn more, call 859-734-4394. Studio G. The G stands for growth.
So creamy it melts in your mouth. Mom Blakeman's candy. Delicious flavors of family tradition. Old-fashioned candy since 61. Light, rich, creamy, made by hand. A southern treat, a Kentucky brand. Mom Blakeman's Candy.com. So creamy it melts in your mouth. Mom Blakeman's Candy.
Hi, it's Daryl, the cigar sommelier and owner of Smokin' Bourbon. I know you guys have been waiting, but the wait is over. We are now open for business. So come on down to Smokin' Bourbon, where you can smoke, sip, and chill.
Central Kentucky's newest cigar bar in Danville by the bowling alley in the Greenleaf Shopping Center. This big boss atmosphere is veteran-owned with connoisseur quality cigars and bourbon, creating a social destination. For more information, go to smoke-in-bourbon.com.
Now open.
Going out of town or anywhere in the world? Stay in touch with WHIR on the internet at hometownlive.net. Powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
9:49 in the morning. It is 65 degrees. We left our listeners on a cliffhanger. Someone who has written in to ask funeral directors a question about how they would handle this, what seems to be strange request from their spouse to have done at the funeral of the man. So again, I assume this is the wife of the man, and maybe he's nearing death, or they're just having a conversation. This person says, I am wondering if it's legal and possible to fulfill my spouse's future funeral wishes. He would like to have a bowl of tortilla chips placed on his casket, and he, while laying in the casket, be holding a bowl of salsa in his hands. You can kind of see where this is going for those who come through at the receiving line at his funeral to be able to grab a snack after waiting in line. Dipping a chip in salsa. This is a serious question, she says, and he would really like this to happen, is seeking to include the instructions even in his will of how he wants this to happen. I know that you all have had funerals of people who, like maybe loved a certain food or drink, like they loved Pepsi or whatever, so people drank a Pepsi in their honor or whatever it may be. But what about this request of to have the actual person in the casket holding a bowl of salsa with a bag of chips on top so they can dip in while he's holding the salsa? What's your answer to this?
Well, number one, if I were to walk up to a casket and they wanted me to eat a chip with a salsa that the deceased is holding, I would prefer not to.
Your answer would be, I'll pass.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But the smart thing to do, if you want to honor the fact that they loved salsa, then put it all around the funeral home with chips with it, and put a little sign saying, have a chip for him. And if he had a favorite recipe of how to make the salsa, I would put that in his hands.
Yeah.
And where he's showing you, basically. And I would make a bunch of copies of the recipe for the salsa, where people could take it with them.
Yeah, we did that at my grandmother's funeral.
That's a lot more meaningful.
Yeah.
Than eating out of a bowl that's sitting on your chest.
You talk about the recipe. You did that at my grandmother's funeral. We had two or three different recipes that were printed on the back of the obituary card or whatever you'd call it, the memorial. And so there was like a Derby pie recipe, and I think there was like a lemon icebox pie recipe, and like these were like our favorite recipes to cook. And so now you have the recipe. You can go home and you can cook it.
Well, yeah, it's kind of neat for people to take a recipe from that person home with them. Yeah. And some of them probably are still making that recipe to this day.
Yeah.
Because if it was that good, everybody would want the recipe.
Yeah. This person said, my first thought is that hardly anyone would be delving into the chips and scooping up a little salsa.
No.
But a lot of smiles and giggles will result, and a lot of people will be reminded of why they loved your husband. So go for it, is what this person said. Another one suggests exactly what you said. Just have like a separate table with the chips and salsa. Another story, someone commented and said, I looked after a gentleman that loved Haribo Tang-Fastics. So like the gummy Tang-Fastic candies made by the Haribo company. He was also a friend and neighbor to my sister. When it came to looking after him and dressing him, I went out of my way to get him a bag of Haribos to sit in his hands. My sister really appreciated that extra touch and said it was exactly like him. So like he had a bag of his favorite candy in his hands,
which is fine.
As he laid there in the casket.
He wasn't saying to people, "Come dip your chip in this."
Come grab the bag of candy, the open bag of gummies out of my hands, and let me share one with you one last time. Yeah. Let's see if there's some other questions. Here we go. I was wondering on my obituary, would it have my parents, even though I don't speak to them? The relationship between us is non-existent. I wouldn't want it to be there, and both my adopted parents died when I was 15 and 17. I don't have children or anything like that, and both my blood sisters, the relationship just basically isn't there either. So I guess this question is, and someone asked him, who would be around to write your obituary, I guess is the question, because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people connected closely, at least family-wise. So do you have the decision to put, I guess, in your will or whatever, whoever you want in your obituary, or what?
The next of kin will make that decision.
Okay.
The next of kin would be either her spouse, or if she didn't have a spouse, it would be her children, or if her parents were alive, they might, and there were no children, then it would go to the parents. She should write it down. Do a prearrangement saying exactly what she wants done.
Okay.
And that's the easiest solution for that, because then it takes the burden off of everybody else's
shoulders. Trying to make the decision on what to do, what they would have wanted.
What if they don't want to do that? They don't want to do it, but they feel like they have to.
Yeah.
And they're going to ostracize all the rest of the family because they do something. So if they write it down, then the funeral director will follow their directions.
Okay. There you go. So write it down. Here's another question for you, Mary. One of my close friends' mom just passed away. They will be holding a service in 2 weeks. It'll be my first time, get this, it'll be my first time attending a service as an adult in my mid-30s. So they've, at least without a parent being there, it doesn't sound like it's their first time ever, but first time as an adult, them being a responsible adult going to a funeral they've ever been by themselves. I'd love to send flowers and donate to help out in any way, but I'm not quite sure what the proper etiquette is. Do I send flowers to where the service will be held or hand carry them? Do I reach out directly to my friend to ask if they're accepting donations for the service and burial? Any advice, much appreciated. So someone wants to maybe donate. Maybe, some obituaries say donations accepted to the Alzheimer's Association or whatever. Yeah. How can they go about sending flowers or making donations in one's name or one's honor?
Well, all they have to do is call a florist and have them sent to the funeral home.
Okay.
That's not a problem. If they want to do a donation, it should say in the obituary who they wanted donations to. And if you can't find an address for that organization or whoever, then there'll be envelopes at the funeral home for the donations. That's really not a difficult thing. And we try to make it very easy for people to show their respect.
Yeah, so you just any florist? You just call any florist?
Just call a florist that's in the town where they are, or if you're away from there and you want to use your florist, like we could call any florist here, and they could send flowers to another town to us. What they're going to do is call someone in that other town.
Yeah.
To do the flowers. Look, I would rather call the people here and have them take care of it for me there because they know what they're talking about and I don't.
Yeah.
Somebody tells me different kinds of flowers, I'm going, okay.
Yeah. Just like you would call, if you want questions answered about a funeral, you wouldn't call the florist, you'd call the funeral home, right? You want questions answered about flowers, call the florist, not the funeral home.
Yeah.
One last question for you. This is interesting. I don't know if we've ever discussed this before, and we don't have a whole lot of time, but viruses like Ebola or something may be more common in certain parts of the world than others, but outbreaks can happen anywhere. So in the case where a person passes from a highly contagious and fatal illness, how do you all handle the body in that case?
Well, when a person is embalmed, it kills all the germs in there. The embalming fluid takes care of that. And so we don't really worry about that at all, because once they're embalmed, now if they're not embalmed, I would not want the public to be to see them. Because
are there guidelines against someone who doesn't want to be embalmed? Maybe they've died from a highly contagious disease, and then having a public visitation and funeral?
It's purely their choice or their next of kin's choice. There's no law that they have to or they don't have to now, except in Alabama. If you die in Alabama and we're going to take you out of Alabama to another state, they will not let anybody cross their border unless they're embalmed.
Okay. So there are certain guidelines.
There's some
then, if you're
guidelines
going,
like that.
You can remain unembalmed unless the law pertains to where you have to be embalmed in certain states.
That's just an Alabama law.
Okay.
Kentucky doesn't have that law. Neither does Ohio, Tennessee.
So it's just an Alabama law.
Yeah.
Mary Stith Hamlin, Stith Funeral Home, 859-236-2113 is the phone number if you have any questions, and stithcares.com. Mary, appreciate you being on. We'll talk to you all again next Tuesday, okay?
Thank you. Take care.
There's that sad music again. That means my time has come to an end of the Joe Show. Had a blast with you all on this Tuesday morning, and I hope I'm able to start to your work day just a little bit more bearable. I'm Joe Mathis signing off. I'm back with you tomorrow morning, dark and early, on Danville's one-stop shop for local news, local events, and local voices, The Joe Show, AM 1230 and the brand new 103.9 FM. WHIR, Danville News Talk Sports. Until then, God bless. Have a great, fun, and safe Tuesday afternoon. Curtis McPeak's Home Sweet Home leads us home sweet home. Kentucky Sports Radio is coming your way next.